You do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
You don't sit behind a desk every day to earn a living. You're out and about making it happen. And sometimes you get a little bit behind on your paperwork, like bookkeeping and paying your taxes. It's easy to get behind on paying your taxes. It happens to the best of us. And you know what happens next. The big, bad IRS comes knocking on your door. And when that happens, you need to call the good old boys at the Tax Doctor. Let them do what they do best. Deal and negotiate with the IRS so you pay the lowest you can in back taxes that the law allows. We are a 100% U.S.-based company, and we've saved our clients millions over the years in back taxes. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, call my friends right now at the Tax Doctor and learn more.
800-628-6070. 800-628-6070. 800-628-6070. That's 800-628-6070.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for
showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Wednesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. I would just like to know the hell that umpire said. Wouldn't you? I'd like to know what that umpire said to Madison Bumgarner in the first inning of this morning's victory for the Arizona Diamondbacks over the Miami Marlins. Hey, so if you haven't heard, what happens is Madison Bumgarner finishes an inning and he goes off, and the umpire is like, hey, we got to do a check. And he's like, okay, well, this is kind of a weird moment, but all right. So he's checking him. He spends a little time longer on his left hand than normal. And then they exchange some words, and the next thing you know, Bumgarner is trying to swing on this guy, trying to fight the umpire. What the hell did that umpire say?
Well, it wasn't what he said. It's what he did. He never looked down at his hand. If you watch the video, and I need to post it on my Twitter feed. I'm terrible about doing stuff like that. But if you watch the umpire, he's staring at Bumgarner. He never looks down at his hand. He just kind of keeps rubbing his hand and all this. And Bumgarner finally looks up and sees the guy staring at him. And that's like, why don't you take a little longer? Or, some little, why don't you take a photograph that lasts longer, that sort of thing. And then the word started, the umpire fired back. And that's what got Bumgarner going. I think the umpire, to be honest with you, I think he didn't like Madison Bumgarner, and I think he wanted to throw him out of the game. That's just my opinion.
So he's basically feeling his hands, hoping to find any kind of sticky, any kind of anything but he wasn't looking at it. He was. Well, I don't understand why you would stare him down. You think he'd be looking at what he was trying to do there.
It probably a history there. It's not Bumgarner's rookie season. I mean, he's probably had this umpire behind the plate before. He doesn't like him. He probably has said something about him, or they've had a tussle before. And this time it was too much. This guy was going to. This umpire stupidly stared down Madison Bumgarner while feeling up his hand, which for a second there I thought, okay, that's a little weird.
Dan Bellino.
I don't know what's going on here.
I think it's like Blandino, Bellino. Those names are similar, Randy.
What are you doing after the game there, big guy? I hear you like to ride horses.
Yeah, Moist One says he was just doing a palm reading. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whatever the case, Bumgarner gets ejected, and Bellino didn't find nothing. So he got ejected for the altercation. So that's kind of garbage. Good thing we won that game. So let me ask you a question. After one inning of pitching, does he get the win? Technically, doesn't he get the win?
Do they have the lead when he goes to the dugout? And if they have the lead and they never lost the lead, which that's not the case.
Well, what if it was 0-0?
No, he doesn't. He just gets the start.
No.
He does not get the win.
They had a run. Miami had a run over Arizona in the first inning, so he doesn't get the win. Middleton gets the win.
Yeah, well, whoever the pitcher was of record when the Diamondbacks took the lead and ultimately won the game.
It's Middleton. I told you that. Anyway, so yeah, that sucks. That sucked a lot, and I wish they would mic these guys up so we could hear what's being said.
Well,
umpires should always be mic'd up.
The night before, last night, same two teams playing. This guy was on third base. That's how the umpires rotate around. I'm sorry, first base. That's how these guys rotate around. They go now tomorrow. Bublionio, whatever the hell his name is, he'll be at third base. Then he'll be at second base. Then before he's behind the plate, he'll be at first base, and then he'll be at home plate calling again. That's how they rotate around. It's a clockwise. So last night he blew a foul ball call. Nearly cost the Diamondbacks a game. So this is one of those guys now, Angel Hernandez and Blue Balls, whatever his name is. These are Big the guys. These are the guys here. Well, Joe West, I think he retired. I think he's done.
Well, somebody has to fill the void. And I think Dan Bellino was heard as he left the stadium singing, "Just call me Angel of the Morning," because he wants to be like Angel Hernandez. Clearly, he's doing a bang-up job.
No, this guy's listen, bottom line is umpires, just like you guys were talking about yesterday, Keon, that was an excellent reference you gave. If I don't know your name and if I haven't seen you all game, that's good if you're an umpire.
Yeah, I mean that you're supposed to be invisible. I think that's there are a lot of people in positions of power that are like that. Where
hey, why are you looking at me? What the hell? What's this all about, Keon?
Come on, Jeffrey.
Well, it's not it's not the fact that he made eye contact. It's that you're acting like you're checking for something when clearly you're on a power trip. That's what that.
I am not on a power trip, Keon. I'm tired of having to explain that to people.
Not you, Dan Bellino.
Well, why are you looking at me? Look at my hands. Don't look at my eyes. Look at my hands when you do this.
Why? I'm not an umpire. I'm not checking you for anything.
I don't think that Bellino was checking him for anything.
No, and that was the problem. Is that he was going through the procedure of checking him for something.
But he was staring him down.
Yeah, I mean, and I mean, clearly to set him off. I
Bellino's
can't look at that any other way.
I'm just so intoxicated by your beard. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. And listen, I respect his lifestyle choices. I'm just saying, time and place. Time and place, Bellino. Time and place. We've all been mesmerized by Bumgarner's beard. I mean, that's a fact. You have, I have, we all have. But maybe not right then. Sorry, Bellino. You got to just pick your places, pick your times, do it right. You know what I'm saying?
When these guys get into these situations with umpires, I mean, especially when it's a repeat situation or something like that, they're always set off. I mean, I remember Max Scherzer in they kept checking him for the resin last season, and he just kept checking him. And at some point, Max Scherzer was like, "What? You want to check my pants too? Do you want to see if I have any around my underwear? I'm telling you, I don't have any resin." Like those things set pitchers off.
Underwear. He was probably asking to check something else.
Scherzer Scherzer's like all the people who have finally had enough in line at the TSA, and they just go in like in their underwear. Like, is this good enough? Is this good enough? Yeah, I think that maybe you need to take a moment.
Well, Go ahead.
368-1580. Go ahead, Randy.
Well, I'm just going to say it's guys like Scherzer and Mad Bum. It's pitchers like that you want on your team because those are warriors. They get into a frame of mind. Randy Johnson was famous for being surly and grouchy and angry and mean on the days he pitched. Now, the other days he was just happy, just a nice guy you could approach him. But on game day, when he's throwing, you don't go near him, you don't go around him. He'll tear your head off and spit down your throat. You know what I'm saying? Yep. And that's just the way these guys are. These are the guys you want on your team, guys that are like that. You know,
and I'm sure his ejection probably did light a little bit of a fire under the rest of the team on that one. Wouldn't you think? Because he was, I mean, seriously, it took 4 or 5 guys to keep Madison Bumgarner from dismantling Dan Bellino.
Well, I wouldn't want to tangle with Madison Bumgarner. The guy throws calves around, in the offseason. I mean, he's a cowboy. He's in good shape. You know what I mean?
With the rancher. You don't mess with the rancher.
I don't think you do either. And there are guys that when the hold me back situation happens, you know that guy's not doing anything. Like it's just
if they have to say hold me back, you don't really need to hold them back.
But in this case,
but Madison Bumgarner was serious.
He didn't say hold me back
right there.
And Dan Bellino should.
Lavello ran out there knowing we better hold him back.
Oh, geez, here we go.
And Dan Bellino needs to write a thank you card, and send some chocolates to the 4 or 5 people that stopped Madison Bumgarner from committing a homicide out there, because that's what was going to happen.
That was coming.
And I don't know. I mean, these umpires, these guys are egomaniacs. A lot of them think the game's about them. Angel Hernandez is a perfect, absolutely. A perfect example. He thinks the whole game is about him.
There's the 1-0.
He just you can't stand these guys getting out there on the field. Sorry about that, and making calls because they look for opportunities to get the spotlight.
Well, Dan Bellino, we know your name now. Welcome to the club of crappy umpires in Major League Baseball. Angel Hernandez, even though Joe West is gone, the ghost of Joe West seems to still float about the league, doesn't it? And now Dan Bellino. Who else you want to throw out there as a bad umpire?
There's Laz Diaz is. I don't know that he's a bad umpire. I just think that he doesn't. I think Laz Diaz tries really, really hard. I think his strike zone is a joke, though. I just think he doesn't understand the strike zone or something.
Well, whatever the case,
he doesn't try to be a jerk. You know what I mean? He's very approachable, former Marine, very respectful. Will give you every opportunity not to get thrown out of the game. But his strike zone is horrible. I don't think it's his. I don't think it's something that he's trying to be, petty about. But Blandino or whatever the hell his name is, and Angel Hernandez, they're trying to be petty about things. They're trying to get the spotlight.
Who is the umpire who actually apologized for a bad call the other day? The pitcher apologized to him, and he apologized to the pitcher, and then everything seemed to go pretty well after that. So that was nice to hear.
I didn't see that, but Jim, remember the famous Jim Joyce incidents? He was the umpire, and the guy was throwing a perfect game. And then he came down to the last out in the game, and he blew it. He called a guy who was clearly out, called him safe, and blew the perfecto for this kid. And he apologized afterwards. He's apologized since. But I still don't understand why that couldn't have been overturned.
Chad Fairchild is the one who actually apologized. And you know what? I didn't know his name because we've never had to hear his name before. The only thing we've heard about him is he apologized for a bad call. That's a good guy right there. That's a good guy. Good boy. Sorry, my dog is in here too. 888-368-1580. Hey, by the way, how about old Dusty Baker over there managing the Cheaters? He became the first African-American manager to win 2,000 games. Nicely done. You like Dusty Baker, even if you don't like the Houston Astros, right?
And in fact, Dusty Baker, his likability is the reason he's there. That on his watch,
Dusty, we got a PR problem here. Can you help us out, please? Dusty's like, open up the checkbook.
Well, you listen. I think they paid him handsomely, but he deserves to be paid handsomely. His reputation in this game is 50 years long. And by the way, a little note for you, factoid, if you will. Dusty Baker's credited for actually creating the high five back when he was.
Oh, that's right. We talked about that day.
So Dusty Baker is a good human being. He's a likable guy. He is had a tremendous career and will certainly be a first ballot Hall of Fame coach when he decides to retire.
So speaking of good human beings, you know, I still don't trust the Canadians. I don't trust them. And
No,
I
why would
think
you?
they're up to something. And I know that polite act is B as in B, S as in S. Okay. I
Sorry.
know that.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't buy it. But one, Canadian fan actually did a nice thing for a little douchebag Yankee fan. Here's what happened during last night's Yankees Blue Jays game in Toronto. Aaron Judge of the Yankees blasted his 9th home run of the season, and that thing did fly. That thing did fly with a purpose. And so he goes out there, and then this Blue Jays fan, he catches the ball. And he's got it. And he turns around and he sees his kid wearing an Aaron Judge shirt. And the kid was like, "Oh, I wanted that ball." And the guy goes, "Here, kid, there you go," and hands it to him. The kid was like, so psyched out, he actually cried and hugged the guy.
Yeah.
So, first off, man card violation. I don't care how old that kid is. He's a Yankee fan. He gets man card violation for crying.
Probably.
Thank
Come
you,
on.
gave me a ball.
Come on.
You cry if you don't get the ball, maybe. You don't cry when good things happen, people. Stop crying. Oh my God, you're not my grandma. Stop crying when good things happen. Okay? You're not a mom who's touched by a very special present my kids gave me. Don't forget Mother's Day Sunday. I'm so touched by this very mom gets to do that when she's happy. Women can cry when they're happy after the birth of the baby. Oh, you're so beautiful. But if a man does it, men don't need to cry happy. Stop crying happy. It ain't manly. So I don't care how old this kid is. He's a man card violation. Special edition just for him. Mostly, yes.
Wow.
Because he's a Yankees fan. But anyway, so that was nice of this Canadian guy to do, wasn't it? He didn't have to do that. Yankee fans are always horrible. He could turn around and be like, "You suck, kid," and then just throw him the ball back onto the field where it belonged. That's what he should have done. That's what a Blue Jays fan should have done. Thrown the ball back on the field where it belonged.
Well, come on. The Blue Jays, Yankees, not quite a rivalry. Red Sox, Yankees,
Doesn't matter.
it's a different
Yankees
story.
suck.
They suck pretty hard in first place right now, and they're
I'll
kicking
never
everybody's
forgive
ass.
this guy for handing that kid the ball.
Best record right now in baseball. So
You don't have to remind me that, Randy. When I say they suck, I don't mean that they're losing. I'm just saying that in general, as even as a concept, in any sort of
as a concept,
yes, they suck. If you want to get existential on this, we can, but they suck on every ethereal plane. Okay, the Yankees suck.
So they suck plain. All right,
plain and simple. So
Yeah. All right.
but nice moment, I guess. But that's how Canadian this guy is. You know what I mean? He's good. Then he looks uncomfortable. The kid's like, "I want a hug," and he's like, "Oh God, gee, okay, I guess this is happening." If you've seen the video, the guy is a little uncomfortable. Like, "Kid, get off me. Come on, man." So I guess you can look at that any way you want. Nice moment, or oh God.
Well, I'd rather see that than two drunks out there that are bare-chested, throwing hands in the stands, and they can't even hit each other. And there's 15 people involved, and somebody's nachos are getting knocked off. I'd rather see a grown man hand a baseball to a kid. That says something about the game of baseball right there.
Well,
this kid will
says about
never,
Canadians.
He'll never forget that moment at the old ballpark with Dad. And some Canadian hack over there that was eating his cheese curds. What do they call that again? Cheese curds?
Cheese curds.
Cheese curd. Eating the cheese curds over there and the fries with the gravy on them. Eating that stuff. And he was like, "Oh, here you go, kid. There you go." And see, that's right there. That's baseball to me.
Remember yesterday when I said, remember when we were kids and you were allowed to slap other people's kids? If it was in the 70s and he handed him the ball and the kid started crying, the Canadian even would have been like, "Shut the hell up. What are you crying for? Come on, man."
He's like 10.
Back when we were allowed to. I miss those days.
Wow.
Not really. I'm not going to slap nobody's kid.
Wow.
It just brings out a dark side of me when it's a Yankees fan. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
Wilbur says, "Yes, everybody, say it with Jeffrey and I. Yankees suck. Yankees suck.
I agree.
Yankees suck."
I hate the Yankees.
Moist one says, "Sure, but I give a kid a baseball bat at the ballpark and I get a dirty look." Well, that's because you're not a player and you're not supposed to be within 500 yards of a park.
If I'm the Blue Jays guy, what I'm doing is I'm whipping out my Sharpie and I'm signing my name on the ball. There
I'm
you
the
go,
guy
kid.
who gave you this.
Never
And he's
forget me.
completely devalued the ball.
The ball's now worthless. Here you go, kid.
No, I wouldn't even write my name and write Yankees suck on the ball and hand it to the kid.
He would have cried even harder.
Fish Tank says, I think that kid cries because a Canadian almost touched him. Senior Wake and Bake says, no, Bumgardner got mad because when the ump looked him in the eye, he says, you feel lucky, punk. I still would like to hear the audio of, well, by the way, is he going to get suspended for his violent outburst, or is that enough in baseball that everybody held you
Bumgardner?
back?
He
Yeah.
might get a fine, but he didn't touch the umpire, so no.
Yeah, but
I mean,
he had intent to.
He needed some
Intention.
assistance to not touch the umpire, but he did.
He might get fined for arguing with the umpire, but I don't think he's going to get any suspension.
Kaler, the quitter, says, why aren't refs and umps forced to do post-game press conferences?
Kaler, why aren't you doing work instead of
what are you doing
texting
for a
in
living
here,
now?
Quitter?
You
You
quit
and your big
us.
giant head.
You're just bored being a guy who does stuff for a homeowners association, or I don't even know what the hell he's doing. Or did you get fired? Why do you have so
Are you
much free
fired?
time, Taylor? Quitter. Mars Bars 805 says, happy Whiskey Wednesday and happy May the 4th be with you. I'll take an 805, please. Go Kings, go Raiders. If somebody comes up and says, may the 4th be with you, your next response to them is, hello, virgin. You know, that's because that's just, you know, that's what that means.
I think it's kind of cool. I mean, listen, I think it's clever.
Blissful Hayes says, it appeared the umpire, okay, I can't read that, Blissful Hayes, but that's maybe. Boomer Sooner says, you know what, I'm going to read that later. I'll tell you what, Boomer, I'm going to hold that one back because we were talking about that. It's a different subject later. I think we've done enough talking about Canadians and Yankees and Major League Baseball now. We got to talk about some NBA stuff. But before we do that, we may need to go to war with England. When we come back, I'll explain. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
Arizona Diamondbacks baseball tonight. They are in Miami for a matchup against the Marlins. Pitching matchup for this evening's game. Humberto Castellanos will get the start for the Diamondbacks, 1-1, 5.79 ERA. Trevor Rogers goes for Miami. He's 1-3 with a 5.09 ERA. The Marlins are paying out at -196 on the money line, while the Diamondbacks pay out at +164. The over-under has been set at 7.5 runs. The Phoenix Suns have a 1-0 series lead against the Dallas Mavericks. Game 2 tomorrow night. Phoenix is favored by 6. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic.
Straight Talk Wireless now has the new iPhone 13 with cinematic mode, which lets you focus on what matters. And with Straight Talk, you can focus on getting the best deal. Our Silver Unlimited plan is just $45 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. And it runs on the largest, most dependable networks, now with nationwide 5G. With the iPhone 13 on Straight Talk, you can share whatever you want, wherever you want. Straight Talk Wireless. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
Let's plan on having concessions over there.
Mike is remodeling the old family drive-in movie theater.
Go find Gab. Tell him the sound team is here.
He'll need a new front-of-house cast and behind-the-scenes crew.
Hey, can we talk staffing real quick? I'm thinking at least 6 per shift.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Dale Hellestrade from my friends at Constructors Bonding. If you need bonds, you can put your trust in Arizona's industry leader for the best service, rates, terms, and capacity anywhere. Constructors Bonding is the #1 writer with 14 sureties and will improve your bond program. Call Dave McKee today to learn how Constructors Bonding will perform for you. 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 or visit cbialliance.com.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for zero down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
What do a 450-year-old author and a bottle of 4 times distilled vodka have in common? Let's compare Shakespeare, shall we? Shakespeare, the man, the epitome of playwriting, the OG of live theater, the standard by which all others are compared. Shakespeare, the vodka, an original Polish spirit crafted from a recipe 12 centuries old with an unwavering attention to smoothness and purity, the standard by which all others should be compared. Maybe they're not so different after all. Shakespeare Vodka is the Shakespeare of vodkas.
Arizona Rattlers football.
Exclusively on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
And at 1580thefanatic.com.
Oh, yeah, I like that. Tune in to hear every home game live. Let's go, boys! Don't miss a second of all the high-paced action as the Rattlers chase another world championship.
Hey, we're going to win. It's going to be on us.
Rattlers football on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Or streaming live at 1580thefanatic.com.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender here on this May 4th in the year 2022 as we are rolling through the day. Lots to talk about. But, hey, I wanted to remind you, MMA legend Henry Cejudo is going to be at the FanDuel Sportsbook inside the Footprint Center this coming Saturday. You might say to me, who's Henry Cejudo? Well, he's an MMA legend. The guy is got all sorts of records. He was a flyweight, bantamweight champion. He also is from Phoenix, Arizona. That's his hometown. He's out of Phoenix, Arizona, and he's here. He's just going to go down and be a part of all the activities, the festivities that go on at the FanDuel Sportsbook in downtown Phoenix, and you can too. If you show up between 4:30 and 6:30, enter for a chance to win tickets to UFC 274 plus some other great prizes. I've got to tell you, this space is really, really nice. They've got TVs everywhere. If the Suns will be playing on Saturday night, then you can bet the Suns game will be on. They've got what?
The Suns were playing Friday night.
They're playing tonight.
Yeah, they're playing Friday night.
And then they play tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, Wednesday night, Friday night.
Thursday night, and then they're off Friday, and then they play Saturday.
They play Friday, according to what I see in front of me.
Oh, well, Suns won't be playing, but you can bet there'll be a bunch of NBA games on. The playoff games will be on, and you can meet Henry Cejudo. Don't miss your chance to meet the legend this Saturday at FanDuel Sportsbook inside the Footprint Center, and enjoy the time there. It's a great quality place to be. Like I said, a very comfortable environment, TVs everywhere, all sorts of opportunities for you to put bets down at the FanDuel Sportsbook Footprint Center. Remember, no purchase necessary, 21 and older, present at the FanDuel Sportsbook Footprint Center. Drawing takes place on May 7th at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You must be present for drawing to claim the prize. Restrictions apply. See terms at FanDuel.com/MMA274. Gambling problem, 1-800-NEXT-STEP, or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Jeff, go.
All right, so on Saturday, if you're at the Footprint Center and they got the screens on, what you'll end up seeing is the Warriors and Memphis. That's what it'll be up on the screen there at 5:30 at least for you. The other game, Celtics and Bucks, that's on at noon 30. So 888-368-1580. All right, so here's what's happening today. At 4:30 p.m., the Miami Heat are going to continue their dismantling of the 76ers. And then the Phoenix Suns will do what they're going to do against the Mavericks tonight at 7 p.m. Now, before we talk about last night's game, I need to explain to you guys why I think we very well may need to go to war with England. because I'm tired of their weak crap. You know what I'm saying? Tired of their weak crap. And it has nothing to do with tariffs, treaties, taxes, other things. It has nothing to do with an encroachment on our land or abuse. Well, it does have to do with abuse of one man. It's a travesty. It's an injustice. Christopher Walken. He's like elder statesman here in the United States. Yeah. And
more cowbell.
The Brits don't seem to see it the same way. Now he went over there and he's doing a show called The Outlaws. I don't remember which streaming service it's on, but it's a comedy. But Christopher Walken is 78 years old, and everybody knows him. You know him in England. You know him in America. You know him the farthest reaches of the world. You know Christopher Walken. So his co-star Stephen Merchant said, "Hey, what do you say on our day off here, we go visit Stonehenge?" And this is where it all goes horribly wrong. So Christopher gets there and he says to a lady, he wants to touch one of the stones. He just wants to put his hand on one of the stones.
Yeah.
Big ass stones, right? She says, "No, you cannot touch the stones." He's like, he's a nice guy. So he's like, "Oh, okay." So Stephen Merchant came over and said, "Listen, it's Christopher Walken there. He's an Academy Award winner. He's come 3,000 miles. He's not going to do any damage. He just, these things have been here 5,000 years. I think they can withstand somebody touching them. It's a stream. He wants to touch Stonehenge." "No, I will not let you touch Stonehenge." It was just horrible. And that there, I think, is enough that we declare war.
So you're
on Great
thinking,
Britain.
Because Christopher Walken cannot touch Stonehenge.
And it's some weak ass stuff. If you don't let Christopher Walken just touch Stonehenge, he's come all that way. He's graced your pasty ass, bland food eating land with his presence. The least you can let him do is touch bleeping Stonehenge.
Well, it is true about the bland food. I was in the UK one time. I ate at a Subway. It was horrible. Anyway.
Well, I feel like Subway is bland everywhere.
Well, they didn't put any sauces on it. No, nothing. You asked for some of that vinegar and oil and stuff. They didn't
He's got oil. He's got oil.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Well, okay, that'll be reason 2. But reason 1 is these limey bastards won't let Christopher Walken touch the Stonehenge. That's it. That's like, if I have nuke codes, I'm thinking.
I don't think that's a reason to nuke England.
I think it's more than enough reason.
I don't.
Well, at least it's more than enough reason to threaten them.
No, look, it's Stonehenge, man. People really don't understand what Stonehenge is, even though they might sit there and blabber all the facts that they have. They really don't understand what Stonehenge is. And
these big friggin' rocks. Let Christopher Walken touch them.
What if he walks up to them and he accidentally, because he's a powerful man and he's got a lot of power, a lot of charisma. What if the charisma jumps out from his soul and his being and jumps into the rock and rocks it back and forth, and suddenly you have this catastrophic fall of Stonehenge, rocks everywhere, people are running, screaming, mass chaos, there's casualties, helicopters in the air, we've got fire on the way with those goofy sirens, beep, boo, beep, boo, beep. People don't even know what they're doing.
Best thing to happen in that country since American dentistry showed up. Mark my words.
All right. Okay, I'll go with you there.
So it ain't right. Let Christopher Walken touch Stonehenge. Okay, I get it. You don't want everybody's greasy fish and chips covered oily hands of your own country touching the thing, because then it get maybe a little bit nasty.
You get all the fish and chips there and all that vinegar and stuff, and they don't wash their hands anyway. So
Christopher Walken doesn't eat that garbage. Let him touch Stonehenge. Okay, just let him touch the Stonehenge. Stupid country. You know what?
How'd the lady do that? How'd the lady do that again? What did she say?
You can't touch the Stonehenge. We can't have that. I will not allow it. Moist one says, "Well, at least our country didn't look like a bloody call UV duty." What?
Excuse me?
I don't. So I'm not sure I follow.
Yeah, he might have typed something wrong on that. I don't know. Good Cat says, "Hey, all."
Hey,
hello, Good Cat. Yeah.
Howdy.
All right. So I guess now we got to talk about these basketball games. Now, hopefully the people have heard me at the State Department, and they're starting to cancel relations between the United States and England in preparation for a full-on war.
I don't think they're going to do that.
Big George says, why should Christopher Walken get special treatment? I'm not going to let you finish that sentence because you're making a fool of yourself, George.
Because he's Christopher Walken. What?
See, Keon gets it. Oh, I don't understand why you don't get it.
Come on, Big George. He's Christopher G.D. Walken.
Fish Tank says, hell, I'd let Walken touch my stones. That he's a world treasure. Yeah, that's
Excuse
right.
me?
He's a world treasure. All right, so back to the sports stuff. Okay, so before we talk about the thugs that were playing against the Warriors, let's talk about the Boston Celtics dismantling the Milwaukee Bucks. I did not see that coming. Does Giannis have a flu? I mean, what's going on here?
He just started very poorly. Boston is, and I don't think that this is that controversial, the best defensive team in the NBA. They had two guys that were nominated for the Defensive Player of the Year award, and one guy, Marcus Smart, actually won the damn thing. They are very good defensively. They've got a lot of length, and Giannis went ahead. They tried to guard Giannis with Jason Tatum. Giannis beat him up in game one. So they changed strategies. Ime Udoka made the adjustment and put a lot of Robert Williams and a lot of Al Horford on Giannis. Those are guys that are not necessarily the biggest guys, but they're fat. But it's good actually because it means that they're mobile enough to move with Giannis, and then they're strong enough to actually battle him down low. So Giannis didn't have very many easy looks in that game. And, because Giannis is a streaky kind of shooter, he's a much better shooter than he used to be. But because he's a streaky shooter, there really wasn't a whole lot Giannis could do when the shots weren't falling for him. And even then, Giannis turned his game around, from quarters 2 to the end. But that first quarter was so bad, it was hard for the Bucks to overcome it, not having Chris Middleton.
And it didn't help that Jaylen Brown was just shooting lights out there at the beginning of the game either. So, I get it. Celtics are not to be trifled with, but I just didn't see this big of a divide, this big of a win coming to the Celtics in this, because you got Giannis Antetokounmpo on the other side. I did not see it being a blowout like this. Can we expect more blowouts, or is this an anomaly in this series?
I don't think we're done with the blowouts. I really think that
really,
I don't know that we're necessarily done. And I mean this from the Milwaukee side. I just think Milwaukee is not a consistent 3-point shooting team. And I don't really like Mike Budenholzer, their coach. I've never been a really big fan of his.
Oh, you mean the coach of the year from last year? The guy who was voted manager of the year?
Yeah, I understand that.
Oh, him? The guy that won manager of the year over Monty, huh?
He's a regular season guy. But he doesn't make adjustments in the playoffs. Like, that's his big – the reason why they got bounced for the playoffs early on in previous years before finally breaking through last year is because he didn't make adjustments. And one thing that he's not going to stop doing is clogging up the middle of the lane. You're not going to get twos. And Boston was like, fine, we'll shoot threes. And if Mike Budenholzer does the thing that he always does, which is that he doesn't make adjustments, if he doesn't figure out a way to slow Boston from shooting threes, there may be another blowout that looks like this at some point in this series.
Moist One says Grant Williams is a beast.
Grant Williams is cool. Yeah, he played at Tennessee. He was awesome when he was down there.
Thunder Snow says Christopher friggin' Walken can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Well, he should be able to. And good Lord. Big George says Christopher Walken is part of the killing of Natalie Wood, so he can suck it. Allegedly. And that's never been proven. And I don't think he had anything to do with it. I think it was, you all know what it was. Anger Ball, Robert, Wagner is the one who splashed Natalie Wood.
That's because Christopher Walken was splashing Natalie Wood before she died. Hello.
So I don't want to get started on that mess, George. I'm not even going to click your link.
Splish splash. Hello.
So, all right. So not much more to say about the Celtics and the Bucks, but boy, we have plenty to talk about when it comes to the Warriors and Grizzlies. What a mess that was. I mean, you go from breaking a guy's arm to bloodying and giving a guy a black eye, and just a complete and absolute bleep show. And then they got the win to go along with it. Grizzlies 106, Warriors 101. I don't know where to even start on this. Do we start with Dylan Brooks tomahawk chopping Gary Payton Jr. and sending him down to the ground with a busted arm? Do you want to? Or do you want to talk about Draymond Green getting punched in the eyeball and having to leave the game for a little bit while he gets stitched up? Which one do you want to go with first? Because they're both horrible.
It reminds me of like a playground game where, the young men get out there, the 20 somethings get out there at the park and they're playing at night and the lights are on, and guys are really playing hard basketball, no blood, no foul, that sort of thing. That's what it reminded me of.
But it shouldn't. And you know why? Scott Foster was there. He was running the game. And so the Suns brushed by a guy, foul, technical foul, flagrant foul. And then the Grizzlies are allowed to physically beat the living daylights.
Well, I wouldn't
out
say
of the
allowed,
Warriors
because Dylan Brooks got a flagrant 2 and got ejected. It's not like he was allowed.
Well, I'm talking about all the other roughing. There was a lot of roughhousing in that game, Keon. You know that.
Yeah, and there was a lot of roughhousing in game 1 on the part of the Golden State Warriors. Like Draymond Green was manhandling literally every human being in a Memphis jersey 1 game ago.
He's being friendly.
I mean,
he's a good boy.
Okay,
yes, he likes to jump on the guests, and that's fine. Maybe he should get his claws trimmed at the groomers. Maybe I'm talking about.
I think you're talking about Buddy.
Yeah, it's talking about Buddy. The same thing. He was just excited.
I look. Draymond Green is the enforcer type guy for the Warriors. This is just what his role has been. He's the guy that makes sure that no one else gets too physical with Klay or Steph. And he showed up in game 1 and set the tone for this series. Well, Dylan Brooks is Memphis's Draymond Green. And I do think that he did the wrong thing, going after, I forget who it was that he ended up pushing.
I don't think he tried to break his arm, but
Gary Payton II. I don't think he tried to break his arm, but I think that because that happened right away in that game. That was like 4 minutes in. He was clearly trying to send a message from when Draymond pulled, what's his name down in game 1. So
in the
this is
space
retaliation.
of time where he takes down Gary Payton Jr. and Draymond Green gets one in the eyeball and leaves the court. The score as Draymond's leaving is Warriors 1, Grizzlies 6. That tells you how fast both of these things happen at the beginning of that game.
Yeah, it was fast and furious early. I just think the Grizzlies were trying to send the message of, hey, you pushed us around game 1, and I know we're young and we don't have a ton of experience. You're not pushing us around for a second game. We're pushing back.
Right. Yeah, you're exactly right. These kids from Memphis are not going to be pushed around. They will stand up to you. And, a lot of people are defending the Golden State Warriors today, the darlings of the NBA. Because you know what? Don't defend them. They are getting back what they've been giving for several years now. How many times has Draymond Green injured a player coming down the lane there? That's what his job is. And so this was an unfortunate event. This kid should not maybe have tomahawk chopped him. But I really think that Gary Payton II broke his elbow because of the way he landed. Instead of just going down, he tried to brace himself with his elbow and his arm, and his arm was stiff.
You don't put it on him. You can't put it on him.
But you don't go down stiff armed like that. You've got to kind of roll.
Part of it was, you get pushed in space. You have no idea where the ground is. It's hard for you to adjust your body. So I'm not going to put that on Gary Payton.
Well, I'm not putting it on him. I'm just saying part of the problem is the way he went down. It wasn't all on this kid.
Brooks broke the code, Randy. Brooks broke the code.
You
asked Steve Kerr what he had to say about
Steve
that.
Kerr,
he broke the code. You don't hit on the head when the guy's in midair breaking his elbow. That's where the line is. He broke the code.
Yeah.
I just think it's bizarre.
So did Draymond just a few days ago.
The coach of Draymond Green.
That's different.
The coach of Draymond Green cannot sit there and say they break the code. The guy who was teammates with Dennis Rodman, who hit people in the air all the time, cannot sit here and talk to me about the code.
There's a code, Keon.
You got championships on violating that code, which is fine, but then don't cry about it now. What are we doing? I don't really understand what he means by that.
The Warriors are just cuter. You know what I'm saying? They're better looking.
I mean,
that's
cuter. Make of it what you will. I'm just saying, if you want to talk about the code, maybe hand back some of those rings that you got because codes were violated.
Yeah, no kidding.
But it's a code, Keon.
Please.
It's a code.
And don't anybody else text me on the text line telling me and squawking about baseball's unwritten rules. What you just heard Steve Kerr tell the world last night is basketball has one too. The code.
Oh, it does. It actually does, though.
Yeah, like don't shoot a 3-pointer after you've already won the game and it's a blowout and there's like 30 seconds left. You don't.
Thank
do
you. Thank you.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk more basketball. We'll get your thoughts about the thuggery of the Memphis Grizzlies over the helpless Golden State Warriors. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Let's plan on having concessions over there.
Mike is remodeling the old family drive-in movie theater.
Go find Gab. Tell him the sound team is here.
He'll need a new front-of-house cast and behind-the-scenes crew.
Hey, can we talk staffing real quick? I'm thinking at least 6 per shift.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Join Choices for the annual Walk for Life, May 6th and 7th at Dream City Church in Glendale. The weekend kicks off with a concert by Jordan St. Cyr. Then hear a powerful message from Dr. William Lyle, OBGYN. Admission to the concert is free with a suggested donation of diapers and wipes. Then on May 7th, join with hundreds for the Choices Walk for Life. Check-in is at 7:30. The walk begins at 9. Register at choicesaz.com/walk for your free t-shirt and all the details.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25029. Again, that's stocks to 25029. Reserve your seat now.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harman Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harman Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmansolar.com.
This is Brent Musburger. Don't miss Pro Football Blitz, Saturday afternoons, right here on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
David Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. I just realized something. Even with Bumgarner's ejection, the Diamondbacks win that game 8-7 over the Marlins this morning. Diamondbacks are a 500 team all of a sudden.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well. Doing pretty well, Jeffco.
Enjoy it while it's good, everybody. That's all I can say about that. So cool. Hey, it's a nice feeling, isn't it? Let's get caught up on the text line, 888-368-1580. Fish Tank says that Peyton Jr. injury was sad, but a Draymond Green black eye kind of actually makes me happy.
Well, I think that Gary Payton, the second injury, is more than just sad. He's the guy that did the best job of anybody slowing down Ja Morant. It's not a coincidence that he goes down and then Ja scores 47.
Right. So the latest on that is he has a fractured, was it elbow or arm? I think it's elbow.
I think it was the elbow. Yeah.
Thought it was elbow, yeah.
I don't know for sure, but I feel like he's going to be gone a long time. Anytime you hear the word fracture, it don't seem likely he's going to be back in this series. Has there been any update on his medical condition, Keon? has anybody said his expected amount of time off? Because that, you're right. I don't know that it's the end of the world for the Warriors. I mean, this is a veteran team, and they've got some youth as well involved. And Steve Kerr, as much as you're aggravated with him, Keon, I think he knows his way around coaching a team. So you think that they can make some good adjustments. They didn't last night, but what do we know of the physical situation with that elbow?
Yeah, I haven't seen an injury update necessarily, but I know they're doing the MRI today. So it's perhaps they have not put that information out just yet.
What's so funny? What's wrong with the way I said situation?
I don't know. It just struck me as funny.
I like the way it sounds. I like to say it. Like I say sandwich.
Situation.
Sandwich is better than when we had Ralphie May on the show those years ago. He and I both agreed sandwich is the correct pronunciation, and situation. Well, that just goes right along with that, right? I mean,
I have an uncle who's Jamaican, and he pronounces it like that.
Yeah. See.
Can I loop back to the Diamondbacks here for just a second?
All right, let's talk about the Diamondbacks situation.
All right, the situation by the Diamondbacks. They are one of only 4 teams right now in baseball that are 7-3. 7-3 in their last 10 games.
Oh, okay. In their last
Yankees are 10-0. The Brewers, I think, are 8-2. The Diamondbacks are 7-3. And they're going to start a series this week against the Rockies, who have been 5-5 in their last 10 games. So they could
keep it going.
They're only 3 games behind the Rockies. If they win all 3 games, bammo, they could take over 4th place.
Oh, it's early for standings, man.
I'm just saying.
For a team that we thought was going to be in the basement all season, here's an opportunity to not be that.
Hang the 25 game banner is what you're saying.
Listen,
you got to take the milestones how you get them.
If you're thinking about not wasting your money, this team is playing some good ball right now.
Right.
Go out to the ball yard this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then the Dodgers come in. Then the Marlins come in. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Fun.
Temper your expectations. Enjoy it while you can. And who knows? Maybe they'll keep it going. Maybe your support, cheering them on, will be just what they need.
And there you go. And that's the situation.
Thank you for that. 888-368-1580. Navy Devils says the NBA playoffs are so long that Peyton's probably going to be back by the next round.
Could be.
I don't know. Fracture. You hear fracture. I feel like it's going to be a bit. We have a doctor listening who can tell us the return time on a fractured elbow. I'd sure like to know. Blissful Hayes says it was nice to see Draymond Green saluting his fans in Memphis with that number 1 gesture. Yeah, as he was leaving, they were cheering for him bleeding. And he's like, you know what? If you're going to boo somebody who got elbowed in the eye and has face with blood running down it, well, you should get flipped off. He says, I'll take the fine. I'll go do an appearance. I'll make up the money. He said, I make $25 million a year. Yeah, I'll be okay. But I could have had a concussion for all they know, but they're going to be that nasty. Well, guess what? I can be that nasty too. Fair enough.
Yeah. No, that's the one time where I think that's acceptable. It's not about pettiness. It's you guys are being jerks, terrible people.
I mean, he can afford it. Okay. Yeah. And maybe now that the league has heard that, they're like, well, in that case, let's increase the fines. He's going to screw it up for everybody. Now it's $100,000 fine.
Hey. Yeah. The problem, of course, is, there's a guy that's barely hanging on to the roster. That's like, wait, now hold on.
Well, he best not be flipping anyone off, should he? So, he'll probably get fined on that. We need a tracker for flagrant fouls and ejections because Draymond finished the game, man card accreditation, at least on that. And, I would like to have some sort of a tracker on who can afford another flagrant, who's going to get suspended because there's some math on how many flagrants you get before you're gone a game or something.
Yeah, it's 3 points. So if you get a flagrant 2, that's 2 points. And if you get the flagrant 1, that's 1. And once you get 3, it's a suspension for every point you get after that. So it's you get the suspension at 3, but if you do it again and get 4, there's another suspension.
So Draymond Green could push it and end up being suspended every other game.
Yeah, which it came back to bite their asses in the finals. That was one. I think that was his fourth suspension of that postseason, or his fourth flagrant of that postseason, and it caused him to be suspended the following game, and they ended up losing to Cleveland, and LeBron gets the advantage in that series.
But the thing I love about this is Memphis stood up to Draymond Green. Draymond Green has gone unchecked for how many years? How many seasons? He's been doing this to other teams for how many seasons, and he intimidates the other team, and that it takes him out of the game. And Memphis is strong enough to stand up and say, or they're just young and they don't know enough. They stand up and say, you're not going to do that. You know what? You hurt one of our guys, we're going to hurt one of your guys.
The next game is going to be a lot of fun. Let's just say that.
We'll see. We'll see what Draymond's got.
Gary Payton Jr. gets back quickly.
I hope so too, but like Randy said, this is a young team and they got a young coach too. Taylor Jenkins, 37 years old. So like the lines here of we ought to be scared of these guys. Nobody has it. There's no awareness of it at all, and I think that makes this a very exciting series.
888-368-1580. Watermelon says if Christopher Walken and Natalie Wood would have gotten married, her name would be Natalie Wood Walken. Wood Walken. Thank you, Watermelon. Kiss the Cook says, Natalie, is that the only wood that doesn't float? Okay, now that's just come up. That's actually, it's dark, but I guess 50 years later, it's all right. Senior Wake and Bake says, Suns are once again going to take the next two games and be on to the next round. By the way, I'm going to assume Quitter Kaler lives in a trailer. Quitter Kaler in the trailer? We should probably add that. We should add that to his name, Quitter Kaler to
Quitter
in
Kaler in
the
the trailer.
Big George says, I'm actually excited about this Diamondbacks team. They're back to 500, only 4 games out of first. NL West is currently the best division of all baseball with all teams 500 or better. So go Diamondbacks.
Yeah, but Big George, take heed here. The Diamondbacks are going to have to do a hell of a lot more than just be 500. You look at the Dodgers; they're 13-7 or something like that. The Padres are starting to fire on all cylinders. The Giants are nobody to mess with. I think this is a race between the Rockies and the Diamondbacks for the cellar in the NL West, or NL West.
Yeah, but things are going good now. Yay. Bala 51 says, Dr. Bala says 6 to 8 weeks. Is that for delivery or for Gary Payton Jr. to come
Gary
back?
Payton Jr.
By the way, am I supposed to say Gary Payton Jr. or Gary Payton II?
Got Gary Payton II, because he has a half brother named Gary Payton Jr. Because Gary Payton was like, you know what? I have 2 kids and they're both Gary Payton.
Oh my God. Ever since George Foreman, it's just not been right.
Georgina.
And George.
Yeah. George was doing little variations on stuff. Gary was like, nope, spelled the same. They're the same.
That ain't right. Fish Tank says,
doing work.
We need a new segment called What's the Situation with Keon Rose?
Oh, hell yeah.
Why does he got to be with
Keon
Rose? I'm the
Rose?
one who said situation.
Jeffrey
Should be
coined
with
it.
Jeffrey. Yeah.
Yeah. Why does only Keon have bits, Randy?
What's the situation with
What's
Jeffrey?
the situation with that? I don't know. Situation. Fun word.
Mhm.
I like to make up all. My wife makes up words too.
Really?
She makes up words. Yeah.
I don't think so.
Gription. She says she was talking about couldn't get any gription. And I was like, well, that's actually pretty damn good.
It's a useful word.
It's not what you're thinking we're talking about.
I
It had nothing to do with that. We were talking about tires, not getting gription.
I'm not gonna lie. I immediately assumed tires, but I wish I could have
Shame
gone
on
where
you, Randy.
I wish I could have gone where Randy went. He looks so much happier than me.
Gription. That's all I got, honey. I just sorry. Senior Wake and Bake says, Dr. Wake and Bake here. Arm fraction back in the old day meant infection and possible amputation, but in Peyton's case, 3 to 4 weeks. Thank you. Thank you. It was an arm fraction. Okay. First and 15 says Booker and Paul better watch out for taloratory square kicks in the nuts by the Mavericks tonight.
Taloratory.
Yeah, because Crowder put his leg in that one guy's Ginobili's.
I mean,
the other night.
I mean, look out for it, I guess. But these maps aren't tough like those Grizzlies.
And Chris Paul will kick a guy in the nuts, but I don't know why you're going to go after Booker's giblets. What did he do? I don't think he did anything.
Nothing, and that's why you go after him.
Big George says, actually, we've been waiting for 4 years now for Jeffrey's first segment of Whiskey Wisdom. So I doubt we're going to see the situation with Jeffrey O'Brien anytime soon.
Damn.
No, that's fair. But you know why? Whiskey Wisdom, I drink the whiskey getting ready to do the wisdom part, and then by then I'm too sauced and I can't type.
George just dropped fire on you.
Straight fire.
Yeah, but I'm doing it right, is what I'm trying to tell you.
You can't do Whiskey Wisdom without whiskey. So, I mean, I understand your plight there.
The situation right now is Big George getting on my damn nerves. That's Moist one. I have no idea what that is. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Phoenix Suns and what's going to happen tonight, and then a bunch of NFL stuff too. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
There's a time to be fearful and a time to be calm, a time to be aggressive and a time to be conservative, especially when it comes to investing. You've heard the phrase, to everything there is a season and a time to every purpose.
Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, president of Compact Asset Management. At Compact, we strive to provide you with the tools and experience it takes to be in the right place at the right time to grow and protect your hard-earned money. Call pound 250 on the cell phone and say, talk to Mo, and let's check your goals together. You'll get a free portfolio review and risk analysis, and we'll focus on your investment strategies. Call pound 250 on your cell phone and say, talk to Mo, or visit us online at compact.com. That's COMPAK.com.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC.
Public service announcement from Summit Male Medical. Guys often confuse erectile dysfunction with low testosterone. They are two different issues with two separate treatments. ED is simply a blood flow issue. Low T is a health issue. Symptoms include lack of muscle mass, gaining a few pounds, low energy, irritability, low libido. At Summit Medical, we treat both because we're experts at both. We've been here in the Valley since 2008. We've treated tens of thousands of patients, not only from here, but all over the country, coming to us specifically. And compare our pricing with others. We are the low price leaders. And combine that with the most experienced staff in the business for ED and PE treatments, and that is an unbeatable combination. We dare you to compare. Please do. So if you're having intimacy issues, please let us show you how we can help you tomorrow if you call today. 480-398-1000 or go to summitmalemedical.com. It will be the best call you ever make.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
QFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
People settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studio in Scottsdale. I think my dog is in trouble.
Uh-oh.
Well, Nana came home, and suddenly he was ushered back in the room here, and the door has been closed. He has been sequestered. And he's been kind of scratching the door, wanting to get it. He loves people. And when he loves you with jumping up on you and stuff.
Yeah.
And
loves Nana.
Yeah. We got to ease him into Nana being back. So, but yeah, and now he's like giving me the look, making me feel guilty, scratching at the door like, oh, there's not a Nana in here. There's a Nana out there.
Yeah.
Why am
Yeah.
I in here? I should be out there. He doesn't get it. So he's just being annoying. Anyway, I don't know if that's what's going on or not. Or he, there's also a good chance that he got into her wallet, and maybe took some cash. I'll find out later. I'll find out the situation later.
He's been known for that, yeah.
The situation. Bob Schwersky says, "Hey, the situation with Mrs. Schwersky's gription, it just ain't what it used to be. These days, it's more like an open-faced roast beef sandwich."
No,
Bob, why?
Bob, no.
Jesus, Bob, why?
I don't know what you're talking about. All I heard was a guy talking about her tires and going to Subway. I don't know you guys are weird. Thunder Snow says, "Hey, Randy, it's Whiskey Wednesday. Can you hook me up with a Jameson Black Barrel, please?"
Hang on.
Absolutely right.
There it is.
Last Optimist says, "I think this means I'm getting old, but I need someone to explain the Suns looking for group billboards in the Valley." What? What are you talking about?
The Suns looking for group billboards in the Valley.
Possibly that voice to text didn't come through just right. Don't know what you're talking about, man. Don't know what you're doing. Are they looking for something? Or group sales? What?
I don't know.
Go ahead. Last Optimist just brought this entire show to a screeching halt.
Yeah, it's a
No
great
idea what
mystery.
you're talking about.
That's a great mystery. We're going to have to.
While you figure out what's going on, but then he comes back with LFG Suns. Do you know what LFG stands for?
Yeah, let's bleep and go.
No, that would be LBG. Keon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, geez.
Let's flatulate go, Suns.
No, that was actually a few years ago. Now this means less ferment grains. So meaning he'll drink to the Suns.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
He wants you to pour him something.
There you go.
Sometimes you're just a child, Keon. Good Cat says, "Randy, can you please pour me a triple rye neat with a triple straight bourbon back?" Bam.
Sure. I mean, it's an awful lot.
Random texter says, "Elvis loved Nana too, on some bread with some peanut butter." No, Nana is grandma.
Banana is what Elvis liked. We're talking about Nana, grandma.
But
Nana.
actually, Nana is at the right age group where she might have loved Elvis too, if you know what I mean. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know her life. I don't know her story. I know she likes Elvis.
Do you think that Nana ever put on some of those Spanish language Elvis songs?
Yes, she.
I bet she did.
I would almost guarantee those come up on her playlist. By the way,
wait, Nana's got a playlist?
Well, her and I share Spotify. I actually share Spotify now with everyone in the house.
You do?
Yeah.
Doesn't that throw off your recommendations?
It sure does. You know how much damn mariachi music comes up? I'm trying to look for something new to listen to on Spotify. And then the little girl was in there. She was in there listening to now all her Disney songs, singing along with them. So my Spotify is confused. My Spotify thinks I like rock alternative music, sometimes mariachi music, and then the soundtrack to Frozen. My Spotify is about to explode because it can't figure me out.
And it's trying to find the ads to send to you, and the demographics just don't make any sense.
So here's something else about Spotify that's interesting. There's been times like I'd be driving down the road using Spotify, listen to a podcast or whatever, and all of a sudden it changes to mariachi music. I'm like, what? And I'll change it back to rock alternative. And it changes back to mariachi. What it is Nana here at the house trying to use Spotify in a pad on the same login. So it's automatically changing what I'm listening to in the car. And I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. Why don't you get Nana her own Spotify?
I have suggested that. But all I know is I love the lady. So anytime that happens, she wins. I just turn the thing off on my end and let her have.
There you go, Nana.
I let that happen. Sometimes we're sitting there at the breakfast table, turn on the mariachi music, and it's actually kind of fun. I have no idea what anybody is saying, but we end up talking about how large their hats are.
And not only that, it helps you digest your food.
How's that? I didn't know that.
Well, that big bass that's in there, sometimes you got that boom, 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 boom. You get that bass going, and you get that other fella out front there with that little tiny guitar.
Yeah,
that helps the digestion.
I had no idea that explains a lot. That does explain. Well, okay. Well, I guess my digestion is going to be pretty damn good now. Senior Wake and Bake says, hey, can we make an official Wake and Bake Wednesday? No, Senior Wake and Bake. No, sorry. We can't do that. But, we agree with you when you say go Suns. Kiss the Cook says it's 80s Big Hair Wednesday. Woo. No, we're not doing that either. Sorry, Kiss the Cook.
That just sounds like a baseball park idea.
80s Big Hair Wednesday.
There will be no Skid Row. I'm sorry, forget it. Last Optimist says, growing up, LFG stood for looking for group in the video game chat channels. So the billboards had me scratching my head. So there's billboards that says LFG Suns for real. Who put those up?
Well, maybe Robert Server. Maybe that's dirty. He's kind of. I think he's kind of that way.
He's dirty.
I don't think he's dirty.
He's dirty. Well, you should ask some of his employees.
What kind of dirty is he?
I don't know, but the official Phoenix Suns Twitter account tweeted LFG.
Oh my!
Hashtag LFG.
Not even the hashtag. Just capital L, capital F, capital G, and several exclamation points.
That's dirty.
Is it
they'll
dirty,
say,
though?
let's friggin' go, Suns. Is what they're going to say, like Dr. Evil. Let's friggin' go. It's just, it's not the same, but we all know what you're thinking, Suns, you dirty, dirty, dirty horse. You know what I'm saying? With your
Are they thinking this? Is
Diarrhea.
that what they're thinking?
I
Is
don't
that why
think
they're
diarrhea starts with an LF or a G.
Sort of. Well, it's kind of dirty.
It's not. Well, that's really dirty.
Diarrhea
There's
is
different
dirty?
dirties.
So what kind of level dirty would this be?
Hmm?
What level dirty would this be? Would this be
LFG?
Yeah, would it be like that kind of dirty?
No, it'd be the lady who says, shame on each and every one of you. And she was talking to the Suns.
On each and all of you.
Right. So Last Optimist says, Randy, how many days after donating blood do I need to wait before you get to pour me a bullet? Days.
Well, when did you donate?
You really should worry about that before donating. If you donate with a blood alcohol level, of a Steve Keim variety, probably shouldn't be donating the blood yet. But
they'll take it. They'll take it.
If you've already donated the blood, then you can have a bullet right now and a cookie. Make sure you have a cookie. I don't see why you would have to wait. Thunder Snoo. Oh, God. That's interesting. Hefty Lefty says LFG. Let's fillet garbage. No, I really doubt that's what that means.
No,
that's dirty on every level.
It's just wrong.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about the actual game, shall we? Tonight, the Mavericks taking on the Suns again. Suns at home, as you know.
Yeah, here we go.
Pretty safe to say the Suns have the Mavericks number. And the Mavericks, the only number that matters is 77. Doncic, as I told you, is the only thing going for the Mavericks. The over-under on the game is 216. What say ye, fellas? Over or under, Keon?
I'm gonna take the over. I think the Suns are gonna score lots of points, and I don't really think they care whether or not Luka scores or not. Luka's gonna score a lot. He's gonna get his. He always does. But just make sure none of these other guys really get going. They did a pretty good job of that last game. I think they'll do even better this game. And Luka's going to put up enough points to inflate the Mavs score. But yeah, they're not going to win this.
All right, Randy, over, under, 216.
Take the over. It was 215 last game. It will be more this game. Luka Doncic will understand that he can go to the basket and score at will. The rest of the team, the Suns will hold at bay. And the Suns will score an immense amount and look for DeAndre Ayton to be even more involved in tonight's game. Suns over, Mavericks over.
All right, so the spread is -6, in favor of the Suns. So what do you say on the spread?
Just because the Suns tend to let their foot off the gas, I'll take the Suns to cover the spread, but it'll be somewhere around that like 7-8 mark. I don't think the Suns blow them out because I just don't think the Suns feel like they need to. Basically.
Seems like a safe spread. What do you think, Randy?
Well, I think it's a safe spread. I think the Suns will cover it, and I think they learned something from the first series, and they've gotten down to business. And I think Coach Monty and CP3 have gotten together, and they've created a great game plan for the Mavericks this time. I think they're thankful that they have the Mavericks and not the Grizzlies in this round of the playoffs.
They need to finish this series as fast as possible because they have the Warriors are going to be the ones waiting for them. And the Warriors are looking at it like a 7-game series. If the Suns can handle their business quick, get some rest, I think that's going to go a long way towards what they have to do against the Warriors. Mm-hmm. You're going to absolutely have an exhausting series against that team. And I'm assuming it will be the Warriors. If it's the if it's the Memphis Grizzlies,
it's simply because Steph Curry's got a broken leg. Draymond Green has a concussion. And
the Peyton Jr. thing don't help.
I'm taking the Warriors in that series too, but I am not as confident as you that they come out of that series just because of Ja Morant is playing like the best player in this series, but B, if Jordan Poole doesn't play well every game to sort of boost the fact that Klay Thompson does look like a shell of himself, and Draymond Green just doesn't score. That no one is afraid of Draymond scoring the basketball. He does all the little things defensively, and he does the point center thing really well, whereas a big guy is bringing the ball up the floor and distributing. But they leave him alone at the top of that 3-point line. And if Draymond can't punish the Grizzlies for making him basically a wide open threat,
he used to.
He hasn't done it this series, and he hasn't really done it this playoffs. And part of that is Draymond isn't the athlete he used to be. So, we're looking at some things here that give the Grizzlies some opportunities that if they can exploit it, that they can actually win this series.
All right. So I still think the Warriors will be who's waiting for these guys in the end. But as far as the Suns go, the Suns have the formula on how to win, but minus that thing they did in the fourth quarter the other night, which was get sloppy. Outside of that, they have the formula to win. What do the Mavericks need to do different to try to keep this thing interesting?
Well, I think the Mavericks need to figure out somebody else to score besides Luka Doncic. And certainly there are 2 or 3 other guys on this Mavericks team that when they get hot can be dangerous. And I think the Suns need to be aware of that. I think they are based upon Monty's comments from after last game. But, I just don't know how Dallas got into the damn playoffs, and I don't know why they're here. And I think that this is going to be a quick and a quick and clean series for the Phoenix Suns.
I sure hope you're right because they need that rest going forward. Kiss the Cook says, "Let's go Suns! Give those Mavs a facial." What?
I assume you mean of the dunking on somebody variety.
Oh, I thought maybe they're going to go to a spa and get some cucumbers on the eyes and some oatmeal scrub,
a little exfoliation.
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I just hear things that I hear my wife say. I don't even know what it means. Hamilton Porter says, "Could you imagine if when you donate blood and you go to the little table to eat before they, you leave there, if they give you pocket shots instead of juice?" Yes, I can. Well, I mean, what would be wrong with that? What would be wrong with instead of the orange juice, it was like a screwdriver? You know what I mean? A little something extra in there. Yeah. Now, personally, I like whiskey, just whiskey, but a screwdriver's nice.
That brings me up to my my next invention. I think, Jeffrey, you and I are going to make $1 million on this.
Okay.
It's our own blood bank. And what we're going to do is be an official Arizona blood donor station. And right at the end there, we're going to get a couple of those nice chairs. We're going to put some TVs up. So when people lean back and you put that giant hose in their arm to suck the blood out of their body, at least before they lose consciousness, they can watch the TV. And then once they're done, we revive them. We have doctors standing by and we revive them. We give them their choice of alcoholic beverage and send them on their way.
It sounds like we're taking more than a pint the way you describe it.
Probably five or 8 quarts.
Sure. We might need to give them blood transfusions. Won't that kind of defeat the purpose?
I hadn't thought about that.
But if we give them back more alcohol than blood, they'll be fine.
I'm just saying.
You're right. So we can I think what we can manage is 2 pints of blood out of each person.
Let me kind of work on the details there.
You give them a handful of cookies and a nice stiff drink or 2.
Cookies, hell. Yeah. We've got bacon. I got bacon waiting for them. Forget the cookies. Forget the orange slices. Bacon right there. And then whatever, on your way out, you just grab, if you want to just grab a 6-pack on your way out, you go right ahead. Hey, we got it right there lined up.
Now we're starting to lose the cost effectiveness though, Randy. If you start giving people whole 6-packs, that's I mean, unless you're giving them garbage beer, but then that's not.
They're supposed to make money on this.
Well, that's the whole point. That's why, the people who you donate blood to, those people make tons of money. They don't just give the hospital that blood; they sell that blood.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they sell the blood. You got to, if you go to the hospital and something happens, you got to pay for blood. A lot of people are making money off the blood, except for the people donating it. In some places, you can donate for money or plasma or whatever, but generally. This has to be cost effective. So all good with the bacon. We can make a bunch of that. Not too expensive. On this one. We can give them, some whiskey shots. And by the way, somebody wants to give me a hard time because I always say I like whiskey flavored whiskey. They said, well, what's the difference? You're putting vodka inside of orange juice for a screwdriver. The difference is the orange juice is the drink. You're just adding alcohol to it. It's not the other way around where you're adding honey or you're adding some fruit flavor to whiskey, like peanut butter. It's completely different. And even then, generally, for me, orange juice and vodka, it's more of a health drink. You know what I mean? If I feel like I'm coming down with something, maybe I'll do that a little bit and be like, yeah, that's good for me.
That's another idea I've got is a workout program, early morning workouts where we give everybody screwdrivers before they get on the trampolines. We got like, picture this, 25 trampolines in the yard there, and they're just all jumping, man. And we give them, we plug them into the hoses and we take the blood.
That's a lot of vomit. We would have to have a fire hose to clean that up. And the smell is going to get bad.
Damn, I failed.
I like your thinking. I like where you're going, but we have to think some of these things through because I don't want to have to smell that or clean
back to the drawing board.
So the Mavericks need to go back to the drawing board, Keon. The Mavericks, it's over, right? It's just over.
I tend to think so. I mean, part of it is let's see what Jason Kidd does. I haven't liked Jason Kidd as a playoff coach.
And the fact he beats his wife.
I mean that too. But even if you were to just keep it basketball, I've never been the biggest fan of Jason Kidd's adjustments. So we'll see what adjustments he can come up with. But his only adjustment really is tell Luka, hey, trust Jalen Brunson. This guy was able to hold up this team while you were injured. The problem is that's just not how Luka plays. And every time we see one of these guys that's a very ball dominant player needs to have the ball in his hands, what happens? Do they have playoff success? Most of these guys tend to flame out at some point in the postseason, whether it's Luka or James Harden or Russell Westbrook. Every time you look at one of these guys with historically high usage rates, they do great in the regular season, but then they get to the playoffs and defenses adjust and they don't have a counterpunch to it.
It's a shame that Harden's flame never got lit, right? We got to take a break. When we come back, we got more NFL on the way. Well, there's an awful lot of people, Randy, who have more ideas about starting a blood donation service.
Okay. All right.
We will deal with all that and other situations when we come back. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hi, this is Nick LaCapria with the Daily Sports Quiz. The Dallas Cowboys have become an American favorite in football, but it wasn't always that way. The Cowboys lost every single game in their first NFL season. Do you know what team the Cowboys defeated to win their very first game?
Nick LaCapria's Daily Sports Quiz brings you a different question from the world of sports each day. If you want even more questions from the world of sports, visit Nick LaCapria's new website, sportstrivia.org. You can test your sports trivia knowledge and get answers to some great questions from the world of sports trivia. Sportstrivia.org. It's free, it's fun, and it's challenging. If you like the Daily Sports Quiz, you'll love sportstrivia.org.
The answer to today's Daily Sports Quiz, name the team the Dallas Cowboys defeated to win their first game ever, the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Cowboys are relatively new to the NFL. They broke in the 1960 season, lost every game, and then defeated the Steelers. I'm Nick LaCapria with your Daily Sports Quiz.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get access. Well, not anymore, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide with deals like our Silver Unlimited plan for just $45 a month and no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for $249, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary. See terms and conditions at straighttalk.com.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic is your exclusive home for the 6-time world champion Indoor Football League's Arizona Rattlers.
All right, listen up.
Tune in to The Fanatic for all the fast-paced, hard-hitting action. Listen as the Rattlers work toward the playoffs and their 7th world championship in team history.
Let's keep it going.
Arizona Rattlers football, exclusively on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we got basketball starting in 8 minutes. NBA playoff action. The Miami Heat are hosting the 76ers, and if I'm not mistaken, the Heat will easily take care of business, and that'll be that. And then after that, you got your Suns hosting the Dallas Mavericks tonight at 7:00. All this stuff is on your TV on TNT. So here's the thing. I was thinking about watching, and I was thinking about, parlay. I got to start getting more brave about parlays. I thought, what you could do with what we were talking about with the Phoenix Suns and the Mavericks, you could say, okay, if you made a parlay where Doncic gets at least 30 points, and then say Booker gets at least 20 points, and all the little different things you can do in a parlay. If you do those things, pretty good bet you're going to do well, as long as you pick the right Phoenix Suns to go with. But like I said, I'm still learning the parlay thing, but there's some deals now where you can take a chance and it will not hurt you. That's right. With the DraftKings same game parlays, what you do is you create your own parlay, combine multiple bets, like which team will win, total threes made, total rebounds, stuff like what I was talking about. And there you go. You got a shot at an even bigger payout. And in fact, all customers right now can place the same game parlay with 3 or more legs and get a free bet back up to $25 if that one leg on their parlay there doesn't hit. So it's a win-win no matter what you do. And take a chance. Maybe learn something. But listen, if you're not a customer, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use promo code BET1580, bet $5 on any NBA team to win their game, and get $150 in free bets if they do. That's promo code BET1580. It's only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Got to be 21 years or older. Arizona residents only. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Now, remember, this is for new customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. But for everybody, those same game parlays and that deal right there, that is in effect no matter what. So check it out. DraftKings Sportsbook. 888-368-1580. There's a lot of people with a lot to say on the old text line, so let's have them say their say. Let me scroll down here. Blissful Hayes says, I wonder if Beavis will have a bench player purposely take out Ja Morant in revenge for that Peyton, junior foul. He's talking about, he does have, is that Beavis or, but no, you're right. He does look like Beavis. It is Beavis. Yeah. Kerr does look kind of like Beavis.
He's got the nose and the hair.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think he would do that. They already have Draymond Green, so they're not going to need a goon.
And I don't think that Memphis went out to do that necessarily so much as Dylan Brooks on his own, because that's his job. He is the guy that gets dirty and forces things, makes sure that nobody is pushing around Ja or Desmond Bane or any of these other dudes. He's the guy I think that made that call on his own, and it was the wrong decision.
Hefty Lefty says the Mavs are in serious need of a Spencer Dinwiddie turning into Chris Middleton. That'd even help out the series right there. Help even out, make it competitive. He also says, Randy, I think cigar lounges should team up with blood donations. I'd stay there for hours.
So you're saying you go in there and you get a nice stick and you sit down in a comfortable leather chair and you light that stick up. It goes for about an hour or so. Yeah. And while you're there, they're taking your blood. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Doctors love that. It smells great.
What a great idea.
I'm all for it. In our little club, it can be a nice drink. It could be a nice sandwich. It could be a nice cigar. Anything goes. Blood donation. Anything
I like
goes.
that. I like that.
Most anything goes. We have to change that if Phil ever showed up. Fighting Lampa says, so that guy with a penis on his forearm, sure hope he wasn't a thumbsucker growing up. Jesus Christ. First off, how many days late are you with that joke?
Well, it was yesterday, I guess.
Yesterday. Was it yesterday?
It was yesterday.
Man,
that's a great joke, though.
Senior Wake and Bake says, Suns keep ball away from Luka Doncic. They'll be okay. Moist One says there's a new chocolate whiskey out called Cocoa Bomb. Nope. Last Optimist says I keep the gin and tonic candy for any time I might come down with the virus. Random Texture says screwdrivers and trampolines equal mini Picassos on the ground. That is a good point. Kiss the Cook says 4-shot tequila or I'll punch you before I give blood. I don't like the sight of needles. Oh, so we have to get Kiss the Cook good and liquored up first. I don't know that you can actually take blood donations that have a blood alcohol level. You know what I'm saying? I don't think we can't move that blood is what I'm trying to say.
Why not? I mean, give a gift to somebody else that you don't even know. You know what I'm saying?
Give the gift of a buzz.
9 or 10 tequilas, get your blood drawn, send it to somebody else who's had a horrific accident or something. Bam, they wake up and they're like, wow, do I feel
good?
Yeah. See what I'm saying?
I think you have to have a on your card that says I'll accept blood from drunks. You know what I mean? Because
I'm just saying.
Yeah. It's good thought. It's good thought.
Write that down. It's good. Another idea.
We may need some legislation to help that, but I like your idea. Mr. Pink Eye says, hey, Randy, looks like you should pitch your ideas to Keon. Jeffrey doesn't like any of your ideas. What are you talking about?
That's not true. It's not true.
No, I'm a realist, Pink Eye, and we're figuring this thing out. And guess who's not invited now? You.
Yeah, Jeffrey's helping to workshop the idea. It's not a no. It's okay, let's make sure this thing can actually work.
Jeffrey's a damn visionary. You can't just take him a regular concept. He's got to work his magic on the concept. You don't know. 25 or so years we've been doing this.
Yeah. Pink Eye, I'm trying to make his dream a reality. What are you doing, Pink Eye, other than
shooting me
criticizing?
down?
Yeah.
Shooting me down. Yeah.
Educated Sports Dude says 1580 The Fanatic, Arizona's blood and sports station.
What?
Well, if the Fanatic wants to get involved, they can, but I have a feeling we might be on our own, Randy.
Yeah.
Legally.
Yeah.
Blissel Hayes says, have you noticed that Donkey Itch complains to the refs every time he shoots?
Yep.
He does have that sort of he's a little bit he's a little soft. He's tin ply.
Whiny.
He looks like a guy who had one peanut butter and jelly sandwich too many. You know what I mean?
When he touched me when I was snooty.
He started getting the superstar calls too early, and now he's just used to them. And even when it's not warranted, he's gonna cry and complain, and that's what he does. And it's funny because we talk about the toughness of DeAndre Ayton quite often. Same draft, I would say DeAndre is leagues tougher than what Luka is.
Hamilton Porter says, Randy, you should call that pint for a pint or strip club that accepts blood donations. You just take the blood right from from the right vein. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to do the strip club.
Yeah.
No.
Moist One says, I can't wait to light my stick up in the lobby, Randy.
Excuse me?
Yeah, Moist One, you're not invited either because you don't understand what we're saying when we say stick.
Yeah.
Boomer Sooner says, gay guys, I know it's off topic, but the Wi-Fi. Okay.
Guys.
Let me rewind. I have to translate old guy typing into a phone. Hey guys, I know it's off topic a bit, but the wife and I are thinking of booking a cruise to the ABC Islands in the Caribbean. Have you anybody heard of those islands by chance?
ABC Islands? Is that where Rune Arledge went? From all those, the ABC Wide World of Sports? Rune Arledge, did he go to the ABC Islands?
I don't know what he's talking about. Bro.
Is that where those guys, what are their names? Howard Cosell and some of those guys from the ABC from back in the day. Is that where they went to the ABC Islands?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is that where Frank Gifford is? The ABC Islands?
No, he's dead. Frank Gifford died a while ago.
I've never heard of it.
Frank Gifford probably could have lived a lot more years, but he turned over and saw Kathy Lee, and he's like, no, I'm good. Dodger Danny says,
Wow.
I'm late getting back, Randy. Congratulations on your first series win for the Diamondback. You know, they're my team too, Danny. I think he doesn't want to say congratulations to me because I was trash as Dodgers. He says, yep, they beat my boys. Yeah. And with any luck, they'll do it again. So there, Dodger Danny. How do you like them apples?
You'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Kiss the Cook says, winos and bums can donate blood. Oh, why can't I? Boomer Sooner. Still don't understand what you're talking about. This ABC stuff right there.
ABC Islands, I don't know.
Already been chewed? I don't know. They always say, you want some ABC gum? Shut up. All right. Oh, hey, you know what? It's time for, I hope we have time. I think we have time for what's in Keon's craw. That's right. We got to find out what flash anger we need to try to avoid with Keon, something that is aggravating him, something that is on his nerve. It's time for what's in Keon Rose's craw. What's in your craw, Keon?
I thought it was what's bugging Keon.
Well, it was. And then we said we like what's in his craw.
So I need to change the title of this music then?
Well, I mean, the music doesn't have any voiceover, so it doesn't. But regardless, Fox Network, Urban Meyer. That is something that is in my craw right now. I am.
Did they make a deal?
Perturbed about it. I mean, they haven't made a deal yet.
I know they're in negotiations.
But they are in negotiations. Why? Why are they in negotiations with a guy who is known at this point for being somebody that cannot be a leader of men, cannot coach a team? Because this is what we're bringing you on TV to do, is to talk about what it means to be a head coach, to get that insight from you that, you know, the average journalist, analyst.
What's he going to do? What's he going to do?
He's going to be their analyst on Fox again. He's going to be there
on
talking
college
about
football.
Yeah, the pregame stuff.
Well, you know why they've got him on there on the Saturday college football thing, right? Have you seen the tail he pulls?
I mean, I understand that, but
those guys are looking for those girls.
But hold on. I mean, you know,
Fox!
if you are somehow working at Fox and can't manage to get that minus Urban Meyer, I don't know what to tell you. But it's just how on earth can you do this? And Shad Khan had some interesting things to say about it. He came out and he said, you know, this Urban Meyer is a liar and a fraud, and that's the reason why he's not the coach, because Shad Khan, for what it's worth, will give people the time to coach and to try and get the wins up and try and become some kind of a team. He did it with Doug Maroney, probably way too long. He's done it with other coaches, again, probably way too long. But he was going to give, despite what the Jaguars looked like on the football side of things, he was going to give Urban Meyer the time to actually try to work his magic and turn the thing around. And instead, Urban Meyer was concerned with, you know, hanging out at a bar, picking up women. Urban Meyer was deeply concerned with bringing in a coach, a strength and conditioning coach, who was being accused of being a racist. But before those allegations even get cleared, I'm going to hire him before that even happens. I'm going to kick the actual kicker of the football team. Just this guy doesn't have what it takes to sit there and talk to America about what happens when your team is down 14. How on earth would you know when your mind is in a bar in Ohio somewhere? How would you know? And there are several coaches who used to coach the game that are absolutely qualified, would be fine on TV doing this. But instead, what we have is Urban Meyer coming back to Fox because the Fox executives don't have any new ideas out there, and they're running Urban Meyer back out there. Maybe it's an attempt to get ratings, but it's a cheap, depressing way to try and do it. Shame on you, Fox. Get out of here.
Yeah, I am confused as well as why anybody would want Urban Meyer after everything that's come to light about him. There's no special charisma that he holds. There's no, not like he has this amazing voice. It is none of the things that you need to be a broadcaster, other than also being an expert in knowing what you're going to be talking about. At this point, yes, Urban Meyer is turned into a fraud. So why does Fox want a fraud? Oh, Tucker Carlson. Never mind. 888-368-1580. I'm sorry, I forgot. Fox does more than just sports.
Just word association.
So never mind. Urban Meyer will be on your TV soon. 888-368-1580. Is that it? Was that's all in your craw?
That is
his existence?
Well, not just his existence, but the fact that Fox is going to hire him as though Urban Meyer has anything to say about coaching, about overcoming adversity, about You know, all of these things that you ask coaches at halftime during these games, questions I've seen them ask him before. Only when he answered those questions before, you believed him because his reputation was, okay, well, this is a guy that maybe might be a bit of a dirtbag, might, you know, go out and recruit some dirtbags, but he wins.
Yeah, credibility is now shot to hell.
Yeah, I mean, as a football coach and as a human being.
Well, don't you think, guys, that once this guy's back on TV, and this is what he did before he went to the Jaguars, right?
It was.
He was the analyst on the Saturday football show, right?
Yeah, on Fox. Yeah, but
yeah. Don't you think that people are going to tune into somebody else that's more credible, and Fox will see that and they'll make changes, right?
I mean, you would think so, but why hire him in the first place? Why hire him back? Why interview him? Why go through the process?
They think that America is stupid.
That's true.
They're right a lot of the time.
Maybe we'll see how right they are about this, but
yeah. I mean, if everybody is okay with Urban Meyer being on there, America's stupid. Hey, by the way, this will make you feel better, though. I think is Sean Payton one of the good guys? Would you say he's one of the good guys? I mean, he's made his mistakes. I
think so.
You know, Bountygate happened on his watch and all that. But
and also the thing where he was suspended. Yeah, he got suspended for that. And then the other really bad judgment call was letting Paul Blart Mall Cop do a movie about him. Kevin, whatever his name is.
Yeah, I mean, that's not morally wrong, but it is poor judgment.
Yeah. But he's in negotiation with Fox too, but to become a studio analyst for NFL stuff. So right there, seems like he's a good guy. I don't know anything bad. I mean, you know, Bountygate was a bit messed up if you knew about it, but whatever the case, I don't know. I've never really seen him talk a whole lot. Do you think he's going to do a good job as a studio analyst?
I think he's very personable. I've seen him in a couple of interviews. I think he'll be fine as an analyst. Certainly one of the great offensive minds in the NFL when he left. And so I think he brings a lot to the, to the broadcast.
Does that make you feel better, Keon? At least we, might have Sean Payton.
Yeah, it makes me feel a little bit better on the NFL side, but I watch a lot of college football. And
it seems like your problem.
I just don't want to see Urban Meyer. I mean, the other guys that they have on there, Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, those guys do a great job. I don't know what. First off,
for Urban Meyer,
what are those guys supposed to say? Like, what are they supposed? Like, are they just going to sit there and pretend like we don't know all of the things that we know about Urban Meyer?
They'll probably work it in like, well, Urban, we know how you feel about kickers, but that sort of thing. Kyle G says, look at who owns Fox, and your questions will be answered. Yeah, I think I figured that one out as I was talking.
True.
Moisman says, to be fair, he did win 2 national championships.
I understand that, but there are no high-level college coaches, no guys that have ever, gone to national championships. Because I don't need a guy that necessarily won a national championship. Can you coach the sport? Do you understand how to lead people?
I don't think it matters. I think Dodger Danny's got it right. They're just bringing him in for the ratings because look at the clown, look at the spectacle, look at the guy.
And that's part of it. I do understand that too. But Urban Meyer, smart dude, from a football perspective.
Is he?
From a football perspective, especially.
I don't think so. After what we saw in Jacksonville, I don't think so.
I think that they also had like personnel stuff, and also his offensive coordinator was a moron. But no, I think in college, I think he showed at the college level, he understands the game. I mean, he innovated a lot of things in the game that we see in college football still.
Highly respect you, but I have to say that Urban Meyer probably intimidated these kids coming into the football program, and they put him on a different level because he would go around doing the same damn thing he was trying to do in Jacksonville.
Yeah, no, well, I don't know. I don't know. It's easier to get away with in college, obviously.
Exactly my point.
But he was also not recruiting good kids. I think that if you have one or two kids from rough situations, but when your whole team is guys that are caught up in these things with the law, that's also really bad judgment.
Listen, Urban Meyer is a colossal douchebag, dirtbag, bad guy. Football, yeah, he knew enough to get it done the way he got it done. But in general, no. This is a guy who needs to go off into that great good night and just leave the rest of us alone. I think we all can agree on that. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk some actual football, NFL football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Let's plan on having concessions over there.
Mike is remodeling the old family drive-in movie theater.
Go find Gab. Tell him the sound team is here.
He'll need a new front-of-house cast and behind-the-scenes crew.
Hey, can we talk staffing real quick? I'm thinking at least 6 per shift.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Join Choices for the annual Walk for Life, May 6th and 7th at Dream City Church in Glendale. The weekend kicks off with a concert by Jordan St. Cyr. Then hear a powerful message from Dr. William Lyle, OBGYN. Admission to the concert is free with a suggested donation of diapers and wipes. Then on May 7th, join with hundreds for the Choices Walk for Life. Check-in is at 7:30. The walk begins at 9. Register at choicesaz.com/walk for your free t-shirt and all the details.
Distracted driving is dangerous, Arizona. When you pick up your phone to send a text message, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to take a call, you're putting lives at risk. When you pick up your phone to check an email, you're putting lives at risk. And now, when you pick up your phone while driving, it's also against the law in Arizona. Don't get a ticket. Don't pick up your phone. Sponsored by Arizona Chapter National Safety Council and Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
If you're worried about your investments, you're not alone. These are challenging times, but it's not time to panic. It's time to act.
Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, founder and president of Compact Asset Management. With over 40 years of experience in the financial markets, I've seen what panic, indecision, and bad advice can do to investments. When markets are up, especially when they're down, it is important to be decisive yet balanced. That's our approach at Compact Asset Management. Call my office today at pound 250 and say, talk to Mo. We will discuss a proactive, balanced approach to your portfolio that can help safeguard your investments and keep you on track with your financial goals. Call pound 250 on your cell phone and say, talk to Mo, and let's create a strategy for your investments today. Again, from your cell phone, call pound 250 and say, talk to Mo.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA, SIPC.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
This is Brad Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
It's Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Sunday, we got a race, Randy. I don't know if you know that, but the big race on Sunday is the NCS at Darlington. Is there like a more fancy name for that race?
Probably, but I don't know what it is right offhand. But Darlington's Throwback Weekend, and what happens is all of NASCAR get together, and a lot of the cars change their paint schemes, and they go all out, sort of like Halloween, only in May. It's a Throwback Tribute Weekend at Darlington because it's one of the oldest tracks on the circuit, so it should be a lot of fun.
Well, you can hear that race here on 1580 The Fanatic, 11:30 a.m. on Sunday. Senior Wake and Bake says, random joke. Okay. He says, your mama's so big, her blood type is barbecue. That's pretty good. That's pretty. And it's also true, you bastard. Twitty it says, afternoon, Reverse Cowboy and crew. I'm guessing ANC Islands, Antigua, Barbados, and Caicos. I think he means Calicos. And yeah, the N is close to the B. So Twitty, your text fell apart too. So ABC, Antigua, Barbados, and Calicos. Is it Calicos or Caicos?
I think it's Calicos, but
that's what I thought.
Wow. I think it sounds beautiful. Barbados, I've seen pictures of that. Wow. Good luck. That should be a lot of fun. Man, envy you. Have fun on that trip.
I haven't been anywhere. Apple says, eat your fruits. Pro Dog says, I'll continue to watch College Game Day on ESPN. I will watch the games on Fox, but I will not watch the pregame.
Yeah. Yeah. Their pregame kind of stinks, doesn't it?
I mean, it can be good, but I mean, I don't know how. Like, I just don't know how you're supposed to watch it with a straight face with Urban Meyer sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
So Blissful Hayes, you might want to slow your roll there. Dave Chappelle made a joke about the person who jumped him, but do we have confirmation that that person was trans? He made a joke that he was, and then Chris Rock came up and said, "Was that Will Smith?" I don't know if you heard, but a guy bum rushed Dave Chappelle on the stage of the Hollywood Bowl last night, tackled him before security could get to him, and the scary thing was, he didn't hurt him with it. And Dave Chappelle is okay, but on this dude's person was a gun knife, and this is the gun knife.
It's gun knife. Wow.
Yeah, it has like a little bayonet that pulls out. It's a little 9mm, I think, but that he had on his person. So if he had that out when he jumped Dave Chappelle, this somehow escaped the metal detectors at the Hollywood Bowl. But had he come at him, he could have done some serious damage. With this little pistol that has I guess the best thing called a bayonet on it. So I don't know if the dude was trans, Blissful Hayes. So before we start spreading a bunch of unsubstantiated rumors around, let's be careful there. I think it's more likely that it was just Will Smith.
How do you get what is the thought process of sneaking a knife into an event and disguising it as a gun? And then what is the thought process behind somehow not catching that?
First off, I don't think it was disguised as a gun. It's a gun that has a fold-outable knife to use as a bayonet.
Okay.
It's not trying to hide. He's like,
so
I
you
don't have
think
a
it's
knife? Shut up. All I have is this gun. You
It's a
can't prove
gun.
I got a knife.
It's a gun and a knife.
It's a gun and a knife. Yes.
Okay. I've never heard of those. I have
Yeah.
seen like the guns where the blade pops out just because I think it's a joke kind of thing. It's not an actual gun though.
Oh, I'm now being told it was a fake gun and knife. Well, that doesn't
Okay,
make
yeah,
any sense.
I've seen those.
It
Yeah.
looked like it was printed on a 3D printer, but I mean, I'm just saying.
All I know is this: nobody was hurt, luckily. And boy, I tell you what, they better start upping security at every single comedy show in the country. Thanks, Will Smith. Thanks a lot. But yeah, the rest of it, I can't even speak to it. Hefty Lefty says, or is it Turks and Caicos?
Could be Turks and Caicos.
Caicos.
Caicos?
It's pronounced Caicos.
Oh, why didn't you tell me that?
I didn't because you pronounce. I don't know the way you pronounced it. I didn't know that's what you were trying to say.
What the hell do I know?
I
Listen. I can't tell if somebody's spelling something right half the time on this damn text line. So
yeah, okay. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying the way I heard
gotta
it.
fill in the blanks sometimes. And Caicos, put an L in there. Guess what you got? Calicos.
But once you say the Turks, then I can put the two together because I did have family.
What do
that
the
lived out
Turks
there.
have to do with anything in the in those islands? Is this by Turkey?
No,
Jesus Christ!
no. It's the Caribbean. It's over there with the Puerto Rico and the Cuba and the
Good Cat, I don't think you're overstating what Jamie Foxx said, but Dave Chappelle is a national treasure. 888-368-1580.
Is he?
Yeah, I think he is. I think he might. He used to be funnier, and I think now he's become more sort of philosopher. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I'd say so. I say he deserves all the credit he gets. I wish he would concentrate more on the funny than the philosophy sometimes, but he's not. I've yet to hear him be a whole lot wrong on his philosophy, except for he has really mishandled how he has interacted with the trans community on things, and in that it also can be a developing conversation because the trans community is also not always listening to what he's actually saying. They're just thinking we're going to be mad at him because we think he's saying something, but we're not going to watch his act. So I think there needs to be a little more cross communication. Okay, is that the right term? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's right. Actually, yeah.
Okay. For everybody to be okay with that, but beyond that, yeah, he's still one of the best ever to do the comedy. You know what I'm looking forward to is the George Carlin documentary that's going to be on HBO Plus. That is
I'm excited
something
about
right
that.
there.
Yeah.
I already have forgotten what it's called, but it's It's coming out May 20th. I can't wait to see that. 888-368-1580. So let's talk some football, shall we? And we got some game schedule announcements. They haven't given us the entire schedule yet, but there are a few peeks into what is going to happen. We do know that the Chiefs and the Chargers are going to face off on Amazon's Thursday Night Football opener. That'll be a good game right there. Two amazing teams. The 49ers are going to face the Cardinals in Mexico City.
Oh, boy.
So that's going to happen on November 21st on a Monday Night Football game.
So the week of Thanksgiving.
Yes. Perfect. Well, then at least they get Thanksgiving off, Randy.
I
don't like these international games. You guys know that. I've said it over and over again.
Exactly my point.
At least this one's close. You know, you just jump.
The time zone makes sense.
You jump on a plane, you get down there, you play the game, you get back before anything bad happens.
It makes sense with the communities of the Phoenix area, the Arizona State community, and the California community. It makes sense to have it in Mexico, and I think they're doing a good thing by having an NFL a game down there. But gosh. The ones in Germany and UK and
in the UK, here's the London matchups for you. Let's see here. Let's see. So the Saints are going to play the Vikings at Tottenham Hotspur October 2nd. The Packers are going to host the Giants in Green Bay's first ever London game. The week after the other one. So that's going to be in October. Wembley Stadium on October 30th. We'll have the Jaguars and the Broncos. Basically, the Jaguars, it's the 9th time they've played there.
They're the home team.
Yeah, they're the home team. And so all three of those games, 6:30 in the damn morning for us.
So I won't be watching them. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not getting them.
No, wait, that's during time change, and we're only supposed to have time change. They'll be 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
that's still the busiest
part
of my day.
No, I'm wrong. It's November when the time change. So, yeah, most of those will still be 6:30.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Either way, who gives a crap? Seahawks and the Buccaneers are the ones who are going to play the first regular season game in Germany, and that's going to happen in November 18th. Which translated means November 13th.
So that's gonna be the 7:31. Yeah.
You're so damn good with those. Damn good with that German accent.
Well, I'm actually reading in German. I just don't want that to be lost on everybody. Reading.
I mean, spot on.
Maybe you'd like to stay for some strudel. So that's a lot of games out of the country. And I get what the NFL is trying to do. I just don't care for it. I don't care for it. Unless the other countries are going to field a team and it's all going to become like the Worldwide Football League.
Well, isn't Shad Khan trying to do that?
Shad Khan
with the Jacksonville Jaguars? Isn't he somehow he bought the stadium over in England, right? He bought the soccer stadium?
Well, he was going to, or he didn't, or maybe he did. I can't remember. Yeah, rich people do rich people things. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that man has sent the Jaguars over to the UK so often. There are legitimately Jaguars fans there now. Like they look forward to seeing the team come. And I'm just like, we couldn't export a better football team to England. Like that's the one that we decided to send them.
Well, I mean, perhaps Shad Khan's got a flat over there.
I mean, quite frankly, maybe that's why they took it out on Christopher Walken. Maybe that's why they took it out on.
Because the Jaguars.
Because we keep sending them the Jags. Of
they don't
all
say
the teams.
it right. We say Jaguars. They say Jaguars.
Jaguars.
Don't get me started on all the things that they pronounce that just I don't understand.
Jaguars.
They don't even say aluminum correctly.
Honest, I think that since they had the language first.
Okay, fair, but like
aluminum.
I mean, they don't say aluminum; they say aluminium.
Yeah, that's annoying.
You just added an extra syllable to this word.
Quick look up: where was aluminium invented? If aluminum was invented in the United States and they call it aluminium, well, they can go straight to damn hell. But if we're mispronouncing words that were invented before the United States became a country, well, then we're sort of we're mangling the language. Let's just be honest.
It was discovered in Denmark.
It was
We kicked
December in
their ass.
Denmark.
It's our right to mangle the language if we want to.
Good
We
point.
threw their damn tea in the damn harbor there. Come on.
Fair enough.
America.
And this was a Denmark thing, so they can do what they want. We'll do what we want, and we're right. But it's not aluminium; it's aluminum. Shut up, yeah, toothy bastards. Nondescript says playing football anywhere else will never make sense as long as it's called the National Football League. That's what I'm saying. Nondescript. It should be the World Football League. We shouldn't be playing other places unless they already have a team there for us to kick their ass.
When I was a kid, they had NFL Europe. What the hell happened to that? Just bring that back.
Right. Well,
we know what happened to that. It's a dismal failure.
True. They melted it down into aluminium.
Lefty says aluminum has the extra I in the Queen's English, I believe. So they respelled it too?
Does that mean the Queen's got an extra I?
She probably does. They're all inbred. You know, it's probably under her hat. You know what I'm saying? She's got tri-vision. And I think lasers come out too. That is one evil old lady. I ain't kidding. I've watched a lot of The Crown. I can tell you right now.
Just saying.
Evil laser eye lady.
You'll watch
All right,
out
guys.
for the British.
Hour 3 is up next. 1580, The Fanatic.
The NBA playoff action is nonstop at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. This week, new customers can bet just $5 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets if they do. Looking to turn a small bet into a big payday? Try DraftKings same-game parlays. Create your own parlay by combining multiple bets like which team will win, total threes made, total rebounds, and more. And right now, all customers can place a same-game parlay with 3 or more legs and get a free bet back up to $25 if one leg doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code BET150. Bet $5 on any NBA team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. That's code BET150. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. 21 and over. Arizona only. Gambling problem? 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs. Protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the Main Event here on 1580 The Fanatic. And join me 1 to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. NFL is leaking the schedule. We have international games. Pac-12 meetings are underway. And oh boy, what is ASU doing in these meetings? We'll have more on Thursday. D-backs have an off day Thursday, but are at 500. The NHL playoffs continue, and I'll get you updated. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the Main Event Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. on 1580 99.3 FM, The Fanatic.
8 presents Terrifying Jobs.
Bull Rider, take 2.
Today we're talking with Clifford Maxwell, a rodeo bullfighter. His job? Distract raging bulls from going after thrown riders. Cliff, this seems like a really terrifying job. Why do you do it?
I love protecting the bull riders when they get bucked up.
How big are these bulls?
12 to 2,200 pounds of pure muscle.
You're not cowed by any of this, obviously. Is there anything that scares you?
Yeah. Distracted drivers terrify me.
This message is brought to you by ADOT, the ABA, and this station.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down.
Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
there, buddy. It's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rhodes in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Got a lot of guys on the text line. I got to get this whole thing cleaned up, and then we can move on to talking some more NFL football. It really does go far back. So I'm really sorry. Sometimes we get so many texts in, some things sort of fall through the cracks. Just know that if I don't read every one of your texts on air, I am going to at least read them with my own eyeballs. And, we try to catch up when we can, but sometimes conversation moves on and your text no longer makes sense, but they're always still appreciated. So let's get caught up here. But people, it seems like everything they want to talk about is this Dave Chappelle thing. And, so I guess I'll just go ahead and read these texts real fast and we'll move on to the football. Blissful Hayes says, did Dave Chappelle knock the guy out backstage afterwards? By the way, it was a fake gun, but it was a real knife. And I know that Dave's people roughed the dude up backstage pretty well before, sending him on his way to the authorities. But I don't know if Dave knocked anybody out. I just don't see that. I don't see him doing that. I see him letting others do that. I don't see Dave doing that. Heavy Metal Maniac says the guy that attacked Dave Chappelle had some kind of, I guess he put out some sort of rap song in 2020, and the song was about attacking Dave Chappelle.
Wow.
Okey-dokey. He says that story is on the TMZ. And Kiss the Cook says, yeah, one of Dave Chappelle's best friends and staunch supporters committed suicide, and she was transgender. Yeah, I remember when I saw the stand-up special and he talked about that. Like I said, I think if there was a clear conversation, both sides would probably come away with a better understanding. Let's see. And I think that's it for the Dave Chappelle stuff. Let's go back to what everybody else is talking about, which is all these games that are happening outside of this country. And it's hard on the players. It's hard on the teams. And I don't know if you took a poll of these guys, these NFL players, how many would say, I love going to England to play. I love going to Germany or Mexico to play. I'm thinking not many, because you got jet lag. You got a long flight. You don't have as much time for working out and rehabbing. Now suddenly you got all this travel you got to deal with. The team has to expend so much money to get all the equipment there. Basketball players, what you do is you grab a ball and you got your shorts. Okay, let's go. And you get on a plane, you can go anywhere. Football is a massive amount of equipment. Yeah, of course, I'm kidding. I know there's more to NBA than just that, but believe me, the difference between traveling an NBA team and traveling an NFL team, light years in difference.
You see it on the Hard Knocks, and yeah, it's a made for TV thing, and so not everything on there is going to be accurate and true. But the travel, when they show the stuff with the equipment managers, and they've got to get the pads, and they've got to get the helmets, and they've got to get the cleats, and you got to make sure that everybody's stuff is in line, because the pads that fit JJ Watt aren't going to fit Rondell Moore, so you've got to make sure that those pads make it there and all of that stuff. And now you're adding an entire Atlantic Ocean of travel inside of all of that. It does make it a nightmare completely.
Don't they though? When they traveled, don't they have one of those luxury liners, one of those like 747s or the big jets? They're not traveling on the small jets. They have the big jets, so they can set up like trainers in there. They can set up their equipment for rehabbing and stuff. And the families come along. Isn't it sort of like that? I thought
think it's like a cruise or nothing, man.
Well, no, I'm not saying a cruise, but I'm saying it's not just your normal, transcontinental or your American flight with your 757.
I don't think there's a gym on the plane, if that's what you're saying.
Well, no, I'm not talking about a gym. I'm talking. Isn't the flight though? They've got a lot of room to get up and have some. If they've got,
you think they're having
injuries.
Practice on the plane?
Oh no, I don't think they have practice. I'm just talking about these guys. They leave kind of early so you can get there and get accustomed to the situation. But they charter these big jets.
But in the middle of an actual season, Randy, there's not extra time. You have what you'd usually be able to go to the facility, get your rehab, do your workout, do some routes, work out with the team, have some practice. You're losing a couple of days at least of that time sitting on a plane, getting into a place we're going to be, getting over the jet lag. There's a huge time difference. It's all, you've traveled abroad, you know how it is, and you weren't even playing football when you did that. And it's messed. It's messed you up.
What I'm trying to say is those big jets, they've got a lot of room and they've set up. I think when these NFL teams move, when they go overseas, it's a coordinated effort. They've got the training tables, they've got equipment on board the plane that they can, the guys with injuries can rehab.
I'd like to see that video.
I don't know that I've seen the video, but I read it somewhere. They have a lot of great equipment on the plane. It's a bigger plane, and so these guys can move around and get some rehab while they're going. And they've got these for these guys with leg injuries. They've got these kind of Velcro wrap things. They're like leg burritos, if you will. That help them
compression thing.
Yeah. It's compression, but it's also.
I get you're saying having all this stuff on there to help rehab and do it. That's not the whole story, though. Randy. There's so much more to this travel, and it's not just the beginning of the week; it's also the end of the week and traveling back. And guess what? You play a game Sunday, you got to get back and play a game Sunday. So you have lessened amount of time for preparation and recovery, and it's affecting not just one game; it's affecting two.
Right. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying I think when they go overseas, though, it's not the normal routine. They have like a 737 that they've chartered. I mean, I think they get the big planes.
Yes, I mean they get the works. I still think that that's probably not as optimal as having your stadium, having
bullcrap, Randy. That's what it is. It's bullcrap.
Having your actual facilities. But according to WebMD, most people recover from jet lag 3 to 4 days after a flight. At that point, an NFL team would be over halfway into their preparations for the next game, normally. But now you still got guys that are
it, Randy.
That are
sugar-coated. You know what sugar-coated bullcrap tastes like, right? Sugar crap.
You're just getting over it, and now you're playing an actual game.
Okay, but these are elite athletes, and these guys have played. Unless you're a rookie, the Bears have played the Packers before. We had a guy, Brian Urlacher, came into the studio. He said they knew what Aaron Rodgers was going to call. They could call the defense on it. These guys, when they play teams, they know when they're coming back. They don't have to practice like it's a Pop Warner team. Come on.
It's just, you do have to practice like that because these guys throw wrinkles. There's a reason why in preseason you're not showing your actual defense. We were just playing base cover 2 every play because I got wrinkles that I don't want you to see yet because I'm trying to beat you. And I'm I'm trying to employ those things. And Bill Belichick was talking about it last year and how much he hated it.
Watch film on the
listen,
game.
Dad, we get it. You crotchety old bastard. Oh, you just want these coddled athletes. I don't give a damn.
You guys get off my damn lawn.
Come on, man. And Melissa one says, okay, they're all first class seats in those planes. It's very spacious. Hyperbaric wraps on the legs. And no, they don't, Jeffrey. They usually have a bye week the week after. Do they? Are we sure that that's universal for each and every one of them? He says, by the way, I'm going to Germany for the Seahawks game. Drew's going to put them on lockdown. Oh, you poor man. Navy Devil says the players can have extra practice in the extra cargo space. There's no extra cargo space because it's all filled up with the helmets and shoulder pads, Navy Devil. Bala 51 says, oh, I feel so bad for the football players and teams having to travel to another country to play a game, get paid millions of dollars for it. We should try our darndest to find dirt on as many of their personal lives as possible and ruin their careers. That'll make me feel better.
There we go.
Wow. And look, and nobody is asking for pity, but if you're saying, is this the best way to play? No, it's not. And you know what? It doesn't produce the best football either.
Twidiot says most teams charter a 767. Jerry Colangelo actually started a company for the sole purpose of transporting teams long distances. There's a man who saw an opportunity, had $1 gazillion in the bank to do it, and now he's making $17 gazillion from it. Jerry Colangelo he's a bad man, and I mean that in a good way.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Senior Wake and Bake says, screw the British and the Queen. And what the hell is she? The Queen of Gingivitis? Okay, Senior Wake and Bake.
Wow.
Take it easy. Good Cat says, on 29th of June, 2007, the NFL announced the end of the NFL Europa after a reported $30 million loss per season, having multiple teams, such as the inaugural league champion London Monarchs, having gone defunct over the years.
I'm just
Thank you
saying
for that report.
If you're going to push to try and build a buzz in Europe, try again. The XFL failed. We got that back. You know, the USFL failed. For some reason, we have that back.
Guess what? It's going to fail again.
Just if you're going to try this hard, don't send our teams over there.
Did they cancel the USFL yet? I'm pretty sure that's happening this week, right?
I don't know, but I haven't heard anything about it in
At all.
weeks.
And that's what I'm saying. Lacrosse guy says, sorry, I'm late, guys. I know you've been waiting on the lacrosse update from last night. Well, here it is. Desert Vista versus the Catholics. That's right. The inmates. What was it? The inmates versus
Notre Dame. Notre Dame.
Yeah. So is the Desert Vista versus the Notre Dame. Desert Vista 12, Catholics 6.
Wow, there it is.
Congratulations and nicely done, Desert Vista, off to the state championship.
There you go.
Friday night versus more Catholics, Brophy Prep. All right, well, listen, good luck.
The Catholics do like lacrosse.
Yeah, that's just
they're very good at it.
So do the convicts, apparently.
Yeah, lots of stained glass, representation of lacrosse players. You can see it all over medieval Europe. Congratulations, Desert Vista. Good luck against Brophy Prep. Last Optimus said, England tried to be cool. They renamed football soccer because they invented the sport and they could be cool and call it something special. Then the Americans started calling it soccer, and the British didn't think soccer was cool anymore. So then they went back to calling it football. Yeah, the British are all over the place, man. Shame on them for not letting Christopher Walken touch Stonehenge. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Shame on them for that. Sorry, I get a little emotional sometimes.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand.
By the way, with all this travel, now they're setting up Tom Brady to break another damn record. Because of all this weird travel into other countries garbage, he's now set to become the first quarterback in NFL history to start a game in 4 different countries. That's all we needed. All we needed is one more record that he can break.
What were the 2 other countries?
Well, let's see here.
Because obviously
England and Mexico.
Mexico.
Now Germany.
Germany. Yeah, what's the 4th one?
Here.
ABC Islands.
The ABC Islands. We're in a country too, aren't we? Well, that when you say 4 different countries, you're not thinking here.
You think 4 extra, but
I would have spent quite some time wondering. Thank you, Keon.
No problem.
Kiss the Cook says, yeah, England sucks. Screw the king. Now serving. 888-368-1580. All right, enough of this other country stuff. I'm going to go ahead and bring up something that Boomer Sooner tried to talk about earlier, and it was interesting, but probably more interesting a few years ago. He says, "Hey guys, I know it's a little bit late here, but wrong one." He says, "Jeffrey, I heard an interview with Des Bryant. Says he's in great shape. He's 30 years old and he's ready to play for a team. And he says that team is the Arizona Cardinals." And you are correct. With an interview with TMZ, Des Bryant says, I'm doing pretty good. Kyler, the coach, I love the swagger. I just love the guys, especially DeAndre Hopkins. That's my boy. We're real close, And he says he wants to come back. He wants to play for the Cardinals.
Des, retire.
He's only 30.
Yeah, I
just retire. There's a reason you're not playing.
Nobody says he's going to replace DeAndre Hopkins.
I get it, but there's a reason why nobody else. And now his last option is the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, look at it, guys. The last 3 seasons, he's tried to play for everybody, and he's had workouts, and nobody has picked him up. Why?
Head case.
I don't know if that's still the case because I mean now the dude is 30. So is he the same guy? I don't
33.
know. But you don't get more athletic at 33. And the last time he tried to catch on, he was in Baltimore and he tore his Achilles. And I feel bad for the guy for that. But you don't become more athletic because with his burst and his acceleration, those were his strengths. You don't become more athletic at 33. You just don't. And I think that's the reason why it's been hard for him to catch on.
You know what, Des? Just go away. Sign a one-day contract with the Cowboys. Retire and go away.
But I'm not going to fault the guy for trying. But
what do you mean? Oh my God!
Give him a minimum contract. See what he does.
No.
You're afraid of the head case part.
And I don't blame you for that. And I'm not saying he deserves a chance, but for him to say, hey, this is where I'd like to be, I think it's a good fit for me. And for him to still try to have workouts and push for it, he's still young enough. It might happen. I think he should try as much as he can.
I don't like people saying that he can't become more athletic at 33, because if I were to go downstairs right now and work out, I would suddenly become more athletic at 51 than I was before, because I haven't worked out since.
But that's not the case 16. For him. No, he's been working out. He's been trying to stay healthy and be picked up by a team. It's just not happening because I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the burst that he had before, after tearing his Achilles and not playing football for several years, it's not there.
I like it when old guys play because it makes me feel like there might be a chance. I don't like it when old guys fail because, anyway. I mean, Donnie says, why don't you guys just call Terrell Owens then? Yeah, he's still in shape. Yeah. No? Guess not.
I mean, is he in football shape? Des Bryant has been working out to try and make a team, so I assume he's in football shape. T.O. is always going to be in shape because that guy's obsessed with fitness. But is he going to be in football shape? No.
Des Bryant, Adrian Peterson, just give up and move on with your life.
Unfortunately, I'm in radio shape.
I've been that way for years.
I feel like I'm getting there.
I had a plan and I didn't stick to it. So. All right. Well, let's take a break. When we come back, let's talk about some NFL quarterbacks. That's right. Once again, I'm going to reach my goal of actually talking about some NFL quarterbacks. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
NBA playoff action coming up on Wednesday night. The Suns and Mavericks play game 2 of their series. Phoenix is favored by 6, over under at 216. Suns lead that series 1-0. And the Heat leading the 76ers 1-0. They play host to Philadelphia on Wednesday night. Miami sitting as an 8.5-point favorite. NHL hockey on Wednesday night. Carolina a -115 favorite against the Bruins. Toronto a -120 favorite against the Lightning. Minnesota a -125 favorite against the Blues. And Edmonton a -190 favorite against the Kings. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
When it comes to covering the high school sports scene in Arizona, AZ Preps 365 has all the answers. Every Saturday morning from 8 until 10, they break down games, interview the newsmakers, talk with coaches from around the state, and stay up to date with what's happening with prep athletes and breaking news from the Arizona prep scene. It's AZ Preps 365, 8 till 10 Saturday mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. Are you seeing what is going on in the home buying market right now? Unbelievable. Not enough inventory, and there is a ton of demand. Some of these homes are getting 30, 40, 50 offers on them. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to differentiate yourself from the other buyers who are in line? I have a way. Use the Lund Mortgage Team. Lund Mortgage Team is locally owned and operated with over 20 years of experience right here in the Valley. They have a great reputation, and it is a trustworthy pre-approval. And on top of that, they are quick. That's one of the things. You got to come equipped and be ready to buy. So what you need to do is make that first phone call to 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940. Get that pre-approval going, and then get yourself ready to go buy that home of your dreams. Go online, lundmortgageteam.com, or call 623-875-9940.
The Rams were built to win the Super Bowl. The Los Angeles Rams have won Super Bowl 56. But if you think that brought the end of the NFL season, you'd better think again. The NFL is a year-round beast, and we keep you in the know. Free agency, trades, retirements, hirings, firings, holdouts, injuries, training camps, and a whole lot more. Football is always in season here. We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Your home for football.
Hey, fight fans. Meet MMA legend Henry Cejudo this Saturday at FanDuel Sportsbook inside the Footprint Center. I don't know if you guys know this, but he's from Phoenix. He went to Maryville High School. He went to Coronado High School. He's a yellow belt in karate, and a black belt in Aikido. And he wrestled on the Olympic freestyle wrestling team. This is a guy you want to get to know. MMA legend Henry Cejudo this Saturday, FanDuel Sportsbook inside the Footprint Center, where the Suns play. Just stop by between 4:30 and 6:30. Once you're there, you can enter for a chance to win 2 tickets to UFC 274, plus other great prizes. You can also enjoy the outdoor terrace. I mean, it is beautiful this time of year. You go outside in the evening. They've got TVs out there. They've got TVs inside. Hell, they got TVs everywhere. At least 40 TVs, including Phoenix Suns basketball and the fight that's happening there this weekend at the Footprint Center. Don't miss your chance to meet Henry Cejudo this Saturday at FanDuel Sportsbook inside Footprint Center. You can do that by going downtown, again, Saturday between 4:30 and 6 p.m. Remember, there's no purchase necessary. You must be 21 or older, present at the FanDuel Sportsbook Footprint Center. The drawing takes place on the May 7th at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Must be present for drawing to claim the prize. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/MMA274. And if you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. Jeffco?
All right. Thank you, Randy. Now, listen, we have an update on the Heat versus the 76ers, and it's not pretty. The Heat are doing unto the Sixers again what the Heat have done to the Sixers before. And, well, this
ugliness.
is going to be, it's going to be over pretty quick. 52-38, at least, is the last score that I had seen. And there's not a whole lot of time left in the second. So, you can kiss their asses goodbye, I think.
And it's not helped by the fact that Miami is shooting 50% from three. Philadelphia, 25%. It's not good. It's not good.
Well, it cost an orbital fracture, but Doc Rivers got himself into the second round.
Yeah, well, I mean, 4 minutes left to go in the game, and Joel Embiid's still out there. But
where are all the people saying, well, if the Sixers had Joel Embiid, it'd be a different story? I heard that last year when the Suns were going through. Remember the Lakers, the Clippers, and all that business, and we kept getting all that crap from the where is that now? Where's it now?
Which is a shame because I think it's true. If the Sixers had Joel Embiid, I mean, this would be a closer game. It would be a more competitive series.
Yeah.
But it's the 76ers' own fault, and it's Doc Rivers' own fault that his players not out there to play, because there's no reason for you to be up 25 plus points and have a guy out there with 4 minutes left to go in a closeout game on the road.
Yeah, how do you? I mean, you get James Harden there, and he's not doing anything.
You know, James Harden has been MIA this entire time. I mean,
Exactly.
the man hasn't.
How's
done
that
anything.
Doc Rivers? That's not Doc Rivers.
I mean, it's somewhat Doc Rivers.
It's kind of Doc Rivers.
Your best player is Joel Embiid.
God.
When he's
you're
hanging around with DeAndre Jordan all these years, what are you doing, Doc?
when you're up 25 with 4 minutes left to go in a series closing game, the series is over, Doc. Your best player does not need to be on the floor. He doesn't. That's on Doc.
Mm-hmm.
That's on Doc.
Big George says he's hold on. Sorry. Blissful Hayes says a score update for us. Chicago beating Chicago 3-2 in third inning. Thanks, Blissful Hayes. Good Cat says, where is James Harden? Such a team cancer. Let's see. Big George says, gentlemen, I just want to say to each and every one of you, may the 4th be with you.
Thank you.
If you didn't just have a baby, I'd say thanks, Virgin. Number one Rattlers fan says, in the NFL, once a player is elected to the Hall of Fame, you can no longer play the game. Are you sure? How's that a rule? I don't think that's an NFL rule.
Though.
Of course it makes sense, but I need to see. You got to show me where that's an actual rule.
Des Bryant's in the Hall of Fame?
No, he's talking about Terrell Owens. Davey Brad says, may the 4th be with the 4th dimension. Look at here, all you Star Trek nerds. You got to stop with
Star Wars.
See, I was just messing with him, Randy. I know.
Oh,
I know that.
I'm sorry.
You just betrayed yourself, nerd.
I'm sorry.
You betrayed yourself, dork.
There's a Star Wars marathon going on one of the TV channels.
Do you really need it? Because it's,
I may or may not be recording.
I'll give you my Disney login, Randy. You can just watch them anytime you want. You don't have to fast forward through commercials or nothing.
You have Disney. Never mind.
Disney Plus.
Yeah, remember when I gave you my Hulu password? It's the same deal. I got
they're
Hulu,
all connected,
Disney, and
Wait, your Hulu is Disney Plus?
No, but I think
Disney owns them all.
How about I send you an email? Did you ever log in to the login I gave you?
Not yet. I'm trying to get a free weekend. I had a week. I had a vacation. I had a vacation. I had other things going on.
I set up your name on my account.
I haven't had a chance to watch Letterkenny yet. I want to watch it.
Clearly you don't. You don't want to watch Letterkenny. Keon doesn't want to watch the Three Amigos. I'm the only person here who's seen everything.
All right. Okay. All right.
Except for rom-coms.
I've got a brisket Friday night. I'm going to put the brisket on. I'm going to watch every episode of Letterkenny one night.
There's 10 seasons, man. Yeah,
I don't give a damn. I'm watching every damn one of them until that brisket comes off.
The thing is, they're 30 minutes and 10 seasons, about 6 episodes each. Is that? I can't remember how many episodes. Like 9 episodes, maybe.
Oh, that's easy.
You might be able to get through it in 2 or 3 days.
That's easy. That's easy. That's like diners, drive-ins, and dives.
No,
they've got like 40 seasons, and they've got like 5 episodes in each season. Come on, give me a break.
So just trust me and give it a fair shot. That's all I'm asking.
I will.
888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says, you got 2 weeks for 10 seasons, Randy. Then Shorzy starts. That's right. Shorzy. Watch the Letterkenny. It'll explain it. And just know that the guy they call Shorzy is getting his own show 10 seasons later.
Well, my grandson, I'm setting up a Saturday all day with my grandson. We'll sit and watch Letterkenny all day.
No.
Me and my grandson.
How old is the grandson?
He's 5 years old. I'm going to watch Letterkenny
this with him.
5-year-old grandson.
No.
We're going to practice our casting
TVMA
in the living room. And he and I are going to have cigars, and we're going to watch Letterkenny all day.
You're giving your grandson a cigar?
You're damn right. I got to start him early.
All right. If he's smoking a cigar, you can watch Letterkenny. I do not suggest it for any other child that age.
Have you seen his parents? I don't think you have. he can watch Letterkenny, please.
I ain't gonna tell you how to live your life. I just, I
am concerned, but
yeah, my own personal thought is probably shouldn't let him watch that. But listen, you do you, man. It's America.
We're gonna make Nana Kim go out and get stuff while we cast our fishing poles down the hallway from the front room.
And that sounds like a lot of fun, actually.
Mhm.
That actually, I'm
Smoking
all
cigars.
about that.
yeah, just about that. I just don't think that a
Yeah.
5-year-old. Okay. No.
Yeah.
Start him young, Keon. Start him young.
I get it.
Moist One has just outdorked everybody. He says 10 points for Gryffindor. Okay, stop. Just stop. Everybody just quit it.
Gryffindor.
Blissel Hayes says, speaking of the Hall of Fame, how in the hell did Dolly Parton get inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
That's a question for me, too.
She's country music. She shouldn't be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, there's two good reasons why she got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
And there's another museum, I'm sure, for that.
She's already in the Country Music Hall of Fame.
No, I'm talking about the giant Hooters thing.
What are you talking about? What?
No, nothing. Apples keeps. Why do you keep saying eat your fruits? Is that your way of saying eat me? Is that what that is, Apples? Because I'm on to you, buddy. Senior Wake and Bake says, hey, tell Keon that Harry Potter somehow makes a cameo in the Three Amigos.
What?
That's true. Harry Potter does make a cameo in Three Amigos.
I don't see how
Daniel Radcliffe is in Three Amigos.
would he not have?
Where?
not
You just
been
need to watch
alive
and find out. Stop asking questions. Spoilers.
yet? Okay.
So remember my cry of anguish when I thought the Colts might grab Malik Willis as
Probably.
a project.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you were in the middle of doing when your epic DraftKings,
reads.
FanDuel
FanDuel.
live reads, and
You're DraftKings. I'm FanDuel.
thank you. And I saw that my Colts did not take him, and I let out a cry of anguish.
Mm.
And it was honest, it was raw, it was real. And then he dropped farther and farther and farther, and finally the Tennessee Titans were like, we kind of like to have that dude, and they moved up and they grabbed him, and they took him at number 80 something. And so that's all cool, except for they did not talk to Ryan Tannehill about it. And now Ryan Tannehill's a little bit grumpy about the whole idea. And he says in his little press conference, he's like, you know what? I'm not here to mentor Malik Willis. Where have we heard that before? We heard that from every salty quarterback who is not consulted about who is going to be drafted. But here's what that tells you. Ryan Tannehill is not the franchise quarterback for the Tennessee Titans. He's a quarterback, and he's a pretty good quarterback.
Yeah,
But
I think he is.
if the franchise quarterback is sitting there, you go and talk to him and say, listen, buddy, hey, we're going to go red. We can't pass on it. It's a project. He'll sit on the bench for years. This is not a concern for you. We're not replacing you. But Malik Willis, we feel like maybe there's something we can develop, and maybe even develop to trade someplace. So, Ryan, don't worry about it. You're the man. We believe in you. We count on you. And so as long as you understand you're cool with this, we're going to do that. That's how you talk to the franchise quarterback. They treated Ryan Tannehill like a quarterback.
Well, and they should.
Mm-hmm.
After that showing in the in the playoff game, three
Good
picks,
point.
And
three picks and one touchdown. That's all he got.
And not just the playoff game. I know this personally because I had Ryan Tannehill as my fantasy quarterback.
No,
there was
sorry.
There
Are
was
you gonna pick him again, Keon?
Well, I did take
Please?
him late in the draft. It's not like he was my first quarterback taken.
Can
But anyway,
you take him again?
he had a couple of good games and then it just all fell apart. And he'll have average games. He's a very average quarterback, and the Titans already look at this and go, the AFC is loaded. How far can you actually go with a guy playing average to terrible? You can't. Not when Mahomes is out there. Not when Josh Allen is out there. Potentially Derek Carr is out there. Look, you're not going that far. You're just not.
So I respect the quarterback saying, I ain't here to bring this guy along. I'm doing my job. My job is not to be his buddy, not to be his teacher, not to be his mentor, not to wipe his butt. My job is to throw the football and win championships. And that right there is kind of manly. You got to admit, a little gruffness on that. Yeah, it's kind of manly.
And he wasn't
being
a complete jerk about it. He said,
No.
Malik Willis should pick up, where we practice
Yeah,
together.
we'll be working out. We'll be doing the same routes. Yeah,
If
you
he
learn
picks
when you
something
learn.
up, yeah.
Sure. But he says, I'm not there to mentor him. But then Ryan Tannehill, the next thing I see is that here's the headline. Ryan Tannehill needed weeks of therapy to get him out of his dark place after postseason loss.
Oh, my God.
Now, listen, I understand that we're getting to a place where we're more comfortable talking about mental health issues, and that's a good thing. But I'm sort of torn on this, but only in this way. Hear me out. If you got to talk about these things, we have to normalize the idea that people need to go get help for mental health issues. Then people feel comfortable about it, and then more people will be healthy. And I think that's always a good idea. But here comes the except for, and I maybe this is not the right way of thinking it, but I'm going to say it. Except for if you're in a leadership position, yes, go get your help. Go ahead and have your therapy if you need it, but maybe keep that to yourself when people are looking to you, a person in a position of leadership, because now what you've done, yes, you've connected with people who maybe need, some therapy, but you've also sort of shown that weakness that you don't need to show to the people who are supposed to be following you. And I know that's probably not the right way of going, but that's kind of how I feel when I see that is, you're the leader. You know what? Get your help. That's great. You don't need to tell everybody about your weakness or your being in a dark place because you lost a game. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to lead, then lead. If a lineman said, yeah, I kind of was in a dark place because everybody's going to pat him on the back and support him. Your quarterback, your leader, your actual leader starts saying that, you're kind of like, oh boy. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to put him down. Yeah, glad he got the help. Just maybe he didn't need to talk about it.
I don't know. I don't know. I honestly, I'm trying to, I guess, kind of put it together in my head. I just
hold on a second. Hey, I know you disagree, dog, but keep it to yourself too. Sorry. Dog's barking at me. I don't know.
But I don't know that actually shows weakness necessarily. I do think that it's a game. The part where I'm like, I don't know how much you can let that affect you, but I guess people are affected by different things. And so I'm not going to judge, but I look at stuff with Larry Bird, where you have some painful losses in the postseason. You just put it aside because ultimately you are playing a game.
You're never going to be stronger than when you've got yourself sorted mental health wise. And Ryan Tannehill going and getting the help that does show the strength, and that of course a leader would take care of what needs to be taken care of. But then when you start talking about it as the leader, then there's going to be some sideways glances. Or am I just completely 100 wrong? Because if I'm 100% wrong, I'm 100% wrong.
I mean, I don't agree. I don't think that if someone were leading me, and they said, hey, look, I've been going through some stuff and I had to go get the mental health help, I'm not going to look at them differently. I'm not going to see weakness there, because that's just a mental tune-up. I wouldn't, if something was wrong with your body physically and you went to go get that taken care of and you told me, I wouldn't think that you were weak for that either. So it's just, you're taking care of yourself. Good for you.
And listen, and I agree, except for maybe keep it to yourself. I don't know. Randy, I think it might be a thing of the era that we're from, that I'm from. I don't know how you feel about all this, but on the text line, plenty of people disagree. Puts the lotion in the basket says, I totally disagree with you. He needs to talk about his mental health, but he should probably check his bank account too. Hefty Lefty says, counterpoint, it could show his team that he cares that much about losing, and he's doing some of what he needs to do to not have it happen again. That's a fair point, Hefty Lefty. Blissful Hay says, is that a dog barking back there? Yeah, it is. My dog is going crazy, and he's not listening because he's not a very good boy right now. Hefty says, I think it'll depend on each of his teammates. They could see it the way Jeffrey's seeing it, and I don't know, might see it the opposite way too there. So, yeah, you see what I'm saying though? It might just be me. I guess if I were the quarterback, I'm not telling anybody about it. I'm getting my therapy. I'm coming back, and we're just going to do what we got to do. Come on, Randy, talk to me. What do you think?
I don't want to say what's going through my head right now because it might get me in trouble, but I will agree with you. I don't think it was good for him to share that. It showed weakness, and NFL guys don't want to see weakness. They want to see a guy that's going to be a leader, a guy that's going to stand up. And if you have these things that happen, and you think that a game that's paying you $20 million a season, and you blow it by throwing 3 interceptions, it's going to be catastrophic for you. Go get some help, but don't share it with the world.
The Jet says one of those extremely high-paying jobs, working 15 hours a week, and has a dog barking at him. You think I work 15 hours a week?
That is
Please.
hilarious.
15.
That is hilarious. I will tell you right
15.
now.
He said 15.
I look. Does Jeffrey take the time off that he can get off? Yeah, and he's earned it. I wouldn't trade positions with Jeffrey.
He said 15.
Ever. 15.
But
that's
something. I'm not even having a take. I'm just saying, a kind of way it looks to me. It doesn't mean I'm even right. I understand in this, age of, mental health awareness and what you have to do and what it means to other people when you do show that vulnerability.
It's a football.
But I'm just saying,
my thing isn't that he's the leader and that shows weakness to me. That's just, dude, you played a football game.
It is to me.
How
he's
dark
playing
a place.
a football game.
Well, here, I know we're running late.
It's a game.
Let me read what he says here.
It's a game.
He says, it's a deep scar. It was a lot of sleepless nights. Every time I closed my eyes, I was rewatching the game in my head. Didn't get a whole lot of sleep for weeks and weeks after the game. I was in a dark place. It took me a while and a lot of work to get out of it. It wasn't something that went away easily, and it's still a scar that I carry with me throughout the rest of my life. Just like a cut on your arm, it starts out as a wound. You're able to heal from it. It turns into a scar. It never leaves you, but it's always there. And it can remind you. It fuels you. It fuels me.
Call Dan Marino.
Being a little melodramatic, aren't we there? Right? Like your legacy isn't in danger. I don't understand. That's the part I don't understand. It's a game.
Call from
Kelly.
Buffalo. What's
Yeah.
Bruce? Yeah. Is it not Bruce?
Bill?
Jim Kelly.
Jim Kelly. There you go.
Jim Kelly.
Kelly.
Call him.
Call Bruce Kelly.
Kelly.
That one's substance abuse. No,
Hell,
this is
call
different.
Bruce
This is
Kelly.
Totally different. Totally.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take this break. We come back. We have On This Date in Big Georgia sports history and other things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Matt Crowder live at the gas station on 41st Street, reporting on those skyrocketing gas prices. Excuse me, miss, are you buying less gas now because of the high prices?
Oh, I never pay full price for gas anymore. I just use the free Upside app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back every time I buy gas.
Well, does that actually add up to anything?
I've made around $200.
Wow. Well, there you have it. Stop paying full price for gas. Download the free Upside app and get real cash back every time you buy gas. This is Matt Crowder Radio News Network. Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code DRAG for a $5 bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code DRAG for a $5 bonus on your first tank. That's code DRAG.
Here's football star Tony Romo for Skechers Max Cushioning Footwear.
You know when you go to your kid's game and you have to sit on those uncomfortable, super hard bleachers? That's how I feel now when I wear regular shoes. Why? Because once I started wearing Skechers Max Cushioning, I've been spoiled with how amazing extra cushioning feels. Skechers maxed out the cushioning with a thick, comfy slice of super light Ultra Go cushioning for a soft, pillowy feel with every step.
See all the fashionable styles of Max Cushioning at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever stylish footwear is sold.
Let's plan on having concessions over there.
Mike is remodeling the old family drive-in movie theater.
Go find Gab. Tell him the sound team is here.
He'll need a new front-of-house cast and behind-the-scenes crew.
Hey, can we talk staffing real quick? I'm thinking at least 6 per shift.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. Our hiring platform instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Contractors, are you missing out on jobs due to lack of bonding? When your current bonding holds you back, call Arizona's #1 bond managers at Constructors Bonding. They have the market relationships and expertise to take you where you want to go. Serving all types of contractors of any size, licensed in all states. When you need better bonding, call Dave McKee at Constructors Bonding, 602-432-5929, or visit CBIalliance.com.
Download our podcast at 1580thefanatic.com. Don't be that guy. Arizona's new exclusive home for live NFL games and Super Bowl 55. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
David Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. I want to make sure everybody understands what I was saying. And I've even said, as I was saying it, I am probably wrong. I don't mean that in a sheepish way. I mean that in a I probably am wrong way. The thought was, we talk about mental health and awareness and taking care of stuff and getting therapy. And I think that's great. If you need it, you should definitely do it. And there shouldn't be any kind of weird stigma about it. I guess it's just when you're the leader, when you're the quarterback, when you're the top of the thing, and then maybe you just keep that one to yourself. That's all I'm saying. And again, I am probably wrong. And the text line is not shy about telling me that. Some aren't, some are. Let me just read these real fast and we'll move on. Let's see here. Kiss the Cook says, wrong call, Jeffrey. Again, I'm not making a call. I'm not making a statement. I'm just like, I'm actually asking a question. Is that really the right look? We as a society put these athletes on a pedestal and tell them not to show emotions or feelings. I don't think we do that. Then we wonder why athletes commit suicide. Needs to be enforced that it's just a game. Besides, 95% of the world doesn't care. I'm not really clear on what you're saying there, but I don't think anybody said don't show emotions or feelings. I'm just saying that at that moment, you just, I don't know. I guess I put myself in that position. I'm not sure that I would share that with the world. I would share that with my family. I might even share that with my teammates, but I don't know if I'm going public with that. You know what I'm saying? Moist One says, him getting help and talking about it will probably help someone who would have benefit from therapy, and they'll go out and get it. But I'm sure a ton of people could use therapy, but are too worried someone would find out and call them weak for it. Well, I'll tell you what, if I need therapy, I don't give a crap what anybody thinks. I want to be okay in my own headspace. And I'm sure Ryan Tannehill does too. But it's one of those things where you're kind of like, is that really? Do we have to tell everybody everything? You know what I mean? Do we have to tell everybody everything? Because like sometimes the toilet paper, when I'm using the toilet paper, my fingers go through the toilet paper because it's the wrong toilet paper. And I hate when that happens because that's nasty. And did you guys need to know that just now? No, it's a true thing. We had to stop getting that toilet paper. I was furious about it.
I think in the case of Ryan Tannehill, though, that might actually help somebody. That athletes.
Well, no, don't get Angel Soft. They don't make it so good anymore. Yeah, it's not very good anymore.
Well, that's actually useful too.
I think that'll be useful.
Now I know.
But you didn't want to have to hear about it.
I didn't want to have to hear about it, but with Ryan Tannehill, that might actually help somebody to hear about it. It's
What's
hard,
that, Randy.
It's
Did you
for
get,
some
did you
for
get
some
Angel
folks,
Soft?
it is it is hard for someone maybe to go in, and athletes, whether they like it or not, whether we like it or not, they are role models, and when they put those things out there, they do actually kind of make things normal that are beneficial and helpful to folks.
Yeah,
Look,
that's what I'm saying. I am probably wrong.
I know this was a major thing for Ryan Tannehill. I know this, and I understand that the team was counting on him to perform. We're talking about a football game, and he gets paid very well to play a football game. This is not like he was driving on the highway and hit some black ice and drove into a van full of kids and killed these kids or maimed people. That we're talking about a football game here. Yeah. And I'm just not on the same bus as this was a major life-changing event.
I will
Everything's
agree.
relative, I guess.
Yeah, I will agree with you on that. Does it seem odd to me that put him in a dark place? It does. But I don't know what's going on in his head. And it's like every other part of your body. You've got to do the maintenance on that to make sure that you're functioning correctly. And if that is something that's putting you in a dark spot, maybe you might want to look into some depression meds. Maybe you might want to look like there may be other things why. Because when you have certain stuff up with your brain, even the most mundane things might actually put you in a dark spot, and there could be questions that need to be answered there. I don't think there's anything.
I wonder what part of the world Ryan Tannehill is in right now. Is he in
Tennessee?
Turks and Caicos, laying on the sand, enjoying the warm weather? Is he in the Tennessee? Is he living in a house where he doesn't have to worry about the electrical bills or the food or cars to drive? We're talking about a football game here, guys.
Hefty Lefty says
about a football game.
Maybe tell these things to your team, but not the media. Telling the media seems a tad dramatic, I think. Fighting Wampa says, "Hey Jeffrey, you better watch out, or something will jump out of the crowd and tackle you like they did Chappelle." Well, if you keep talking like that, I'm never doing a remote again. The Jet says, "Last time Jeffrey got a piece of ass was when his finger broke through the toilet paper."
Hello.
Lost Toby says, "Good toilet paper is underrated." You ain't kidding, man. Puts the lotion in the basket, says nobody, and I mean nobody, needed to know about that toilet paper, Jeffrey. That was my point. Moist one says millions of people watched him fail. Yeah. How about Bill Buckner, Randy? What about Bill Buckner?
But still, even if if Bill Buckner went to therapy, did he let the world know about it?
I guess
It's one thing for you to deal with it yourself in a private level. Why do you need to let the world know about it?
But you know how many times, Randy, that it has come back. Some kid has seen somebody talk about coming out of the closet. Some kid has heard somebody talk about mental issues. Some kid has heard somebody talking about being trans. Some kid has heard all these different things where, they did need to hear that. And so maybe Keon's right. Maybe the good that is done by that outweighs that. I wouldn't do that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Maybe we're just wrong. I don't know.
It was a football game. We're not talking about life-changing situations.
It doesn't matter what it's about. It's about the good that comes from it, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, and look, like I said, it is also odd to me. I don't like losing. I'm pretty competitive. I don't enjoy it, but like game's over. And you've got life you can get back to. But
you rub dirt on it, you get up, you move on. Next time you try to go better.
But I don't know what sets people off. And if that's a game, so how am I supposed to tell you that your brain's wrong?
From Randy's perspective, he's talking to somebody who just got a triple-decker ice cream cone, and he's complaining because the top chunk of ice cream fell off. You know what I mean? Only multiply that by millions.
Well, I appreciate that, but I've been through a liver transplant. I faced death. I looked at death. I didn't have to go get therapy to come back from death. I'm just saying sometimes we put too much value on smaller items than we need to.
I had to hire Bruce Jacobs. Okay, I've been through something.
Go get some damn therapy.
And poor Keon has to work with us.
I'm all I'm saying is not that it was wrong for him to feel bad about blowing a game, and he went and got therapy. Why do you feel like you need to share it with everybody else?
You know what? I do think
does that put validity to your bad feelings? Is that what it is?
And maybe I just also think that our sports media is different from what it used to be. I do think that you put these guys in front of a microphone, there's just an expectation that you say stuff. And you just get comfortable saying stuff to lots of people all the time.
Just say nonsense all the time, like I do now.
Yeah, and some people do. Some people are Marshawn Lynch, and they either say nonsense or nothing just because they see that as the joke, and it's awesome. But some people just share a lot.
I don't ever want to be part of the problem. I don't want to ever be on the wrong side of somebody learning something, somebody getting help for something. I just gave you my honest reaction to it. It was like, I don't know about that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Well,
So,
if you need
it's
therapy,
healthy to talk about, right? If it's healthy to talk for him to talk about it, it's healthy for me to talk about my perception of him talking about it, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Or am I not allowed this therapy?
No, absolutely.
Keon's brain is about to explode.
Your opinion is fine. I don't know.
If you need therapy, go get therapy and help yourself and get healthy. But if you don't, I mean, it's a football. I don't know how to put it. Just a football game, man.
Bala 51 says, you play to win the game, Jeffrey. It's science. Kiss the Cook says, in order to be a gracious winner, you have to learn to be a gracious loser.
Yeah.
Keon says, Keon needs therapy after going to the bathroom after Dale Hillestray. True.
That's a fact. That is a damn fact.
Joe the Show's going to the Suns game tonight. Awesome. Good for you, buddy. Blissful Hayes says, I'm glad you made it back from death, Randy. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hefty Lefty says, hey, Keon, there's a manga called Maya and the Three Amigos. Just read that and picture the actors from the movie. I don't even know what that meant, but I hope it helps. Sorry, Big George. We just ran out of time. We'll do a double sports history tomorrow, buddy. Everybody have a great night. We'll see you. Go Suns. It's the Daily Blender here on 15.